Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we got a special guest, Mr. Sammy Baptista. How are you, bro?
Thanks for having me. It's an honor. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, dude.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm doing good. Been through a lot, but doing a lot better. That's for sure.
Hey, man, you've been through a lot, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, but we'll get into all that for sure. We'll talk about it because you're doing great now, right? Everything's good.
Feeling great. Yeah.
How's everything going? Just a daily basis.
It's good. You know, just like it's been a process. You know what I mean? A lot longer and a lot weird. It's just weirder, honestly, than any other injury I've ever dealt with.
Yeah.
And like it started, you got to be like stretching and doing all that stuff. It's all normal stuff that like when I got out of the hospital, I was just doing my normal routine.
Okay.
You know, like do your morning sit-ups, push-ups, some lunges.
Sure.
That stuff will just keep your body moving.
Yeah.
Then at night it would get stiff. But in terms, I'm like 6 months deep. So in terms of right now, it's like the hardest thing is literally just taking my garments off to take a shower just because it's annoying, you know?
Oh.
But then when I'm in the shower, I have to like use a washcloth to get all the dead skin off.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, just mentally, it's just a little annoying, you know?
Yeah.
But,
Draining.
yeah. Other than that, it's doing pretty good, you know what I mean? There's just spots that are like a little bit weirder than other spots, but I'm constantly massaging myself, and just a random one.
Right. I mean, for people that don't know, you got burned severely.
Mm-hmm.
What percent of your body would you say?
40% of my body.
40% of your
Damn.
body.
Yeah.
Wow.
2nd to 3rd degree burns and stuff.
That's no joke.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. And so I can't even, they put you in a medically induced coma because you just it's too much pain.
Yeah.
And so, like the actual accident, I just have like PTSD too, so I really don't want to talk about it if anyone's thinking about how it happened.
Right.
But
I respect that for sure.
So yeah, just like blackout and end up in dreams pretty much for 16 days because you don't realize that you're in a coma.
Yeah, is it just like sleeping? I mean, this coma thing is bizarre to me.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of I seen this Black Mirror. I don't know if you watched it recently.
Oh yeah.
And there's one where the girl's in a coma and she can see and hear and everything. That's kind of how it is. It's not as vivid as she was doing it. You can't tell that you're in a coma, but what's happening outside is affecting your coma.
Interesting.
And then it's more like Inception, I would say, in the parts where like they go 3 dreams deep. You know, so I kept waking up in my dreams.
What?
And thinking, all right, this is awake because I'm awake. And then it would just be crazy ass dreams. And I'm just sitting here tripping. I'm like pretty in control of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like at this point, and a lot of the times I just thought somebody roofied me and the shit was just all weird and shit. You know what I mean?
Well, did you know that they were putting you in a medically induced coma, or was it so severe that you were just didn't know, and all of a sudden you're just kind of in this dream state?
Exactly like that. As I got to the hospital and then I blacked out pretty much right when I got to. I remember I think walking through the doors of the hospital.
Oh my God.
And then I was just in a dream, and so I didn't. That's the weirdest part. As I was explaining to somebody else, I think when you're dreaming, you go to sleep, and then so subconsciously you remember going to sleep.
Yeah.
And this one, you're just like, boom, you know, you're in a whole different world.
Yeah. Huh. And 16 days you were in the induced.
16 days, and so imagine the dreams and shit you're just having and shit, and it was crazy. But I mean, some of them are. I'll just give you like a broad basis of what they were. Is like some of them were like hell. Like literally there was like people, there'd be one where like this person was like running around at this like apartment complex spraying lighter, like spraying Aquanet and spraying flames.
Okay.
And then there's this nurse who's like doing weird shit that my mom can't see, and I'm like, Mom, the nurse is doing something weird. And then she'd cause it to where the fire alarm would go, and then I'd be like, the cops would come in and be like, good, the cops are here, you know. And the cops would grab some old dude and be like, this dude's people always get out of the old homes, you know. We're just here to grab this dude. And that would happen a couple times. I was like, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what, dude?
Yeah, dude. And then another dream, this is weird, is that I had a dream where like it was all a movie, you know. And like Girl in Chocolate, actually, it was like Spike Jonze had did a fake movie. And they were like, and I was still tripping and shit. And at one point, this is what's weird, is that my dream and reality were kind of like, I think, mixing. And so in the dream, the Spike Jonze movie, they were like taking off layers of stuff because they're like, yo, we faked this, but you've had everything on for so long that we still need to do it a certain way because we can't just take it all off at the same time. And then I think they were telling my family that because I remember thinking they're like, it's going to have a bad sunburn. And so it was just weird, dude, you know?
So things that were happening in your room were kind of being translated into your dream, like them taking off your stuff slowly.
Like your dressings and all that, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And then like the fire in Malibu even, you know, I got airlifted I was at Grossman Burn Center and I got airlifted. I've never been in a helicopter, but I have when I was in Coma.
Where's Grossman Burn Center?
It's in Woodland Hills.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, amazing group of people. Like those people saved my life. Thank you so much.
Wow.
But that was in my dream too, where it was like there was a fire and my brother and my wife couldn't come because there was a fire, but it was like real, you know?
So you were in the coma still when they were airlifting you?
Yeah. So the beauty of all of it though is that like 16 days had gone by, and so like these doctors, they're like imagine a skater who's like Jamie Foy is gonna like front crook this big ass rail, like he's on it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, motherfucker got it. Just point the camera. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how these doctors are, but just about life, you know? So like, all right, this dude's about to die. Boom, 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 and we're good. So by the time I woke up, they had already done so many surgeries that I was already on a very good path of healing. Wow. Yeah, and so...
How many surgeries did you have?
I had 5 altogether.
What kind of surgeries?
Like skin grafts?
So pretty much what they do, it's pretty crazy how they figured this shit out too. And so they have to scrub all the dead skin off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like really gnarly. That's why I have to be in a coma. Or like, so they have to scrub all the dead skin off. Then they did my arms first, and so but my legs need to start healing, and so they took dead cadaver skin and put it on my legs.
Huh.
Yeah, and then they did a skin graft from my back and I don't know when they did it at whatever times, but they took from my thigh, my butt, and my back.
Okay.
And then they did my arms, but then like I'm a bleeder, I guess. And so my arms weren't catching.
Interesting.
And it's bleeding, you know, and so I had like 5.
Like the flesh wouldn't stick to it?
Right.
Yeah, and I had like 5 blood transfusions and shit. It's crazy.
Damn.
Dude.
Yeah, but then so when I woke up, my arms were good. I mean, as good as they could be at the moment, but I had skin. But then my legs, I was like, what the fuck, you know, because it's all this different color skin and shit, you know?
Are they stitching the skin? Or are they just kind of laying it on top and hoping that it's going to take?
I don't even know.
You don't even know.
I don't even know. I think that they just put it on there hoping it's going to take.
Interesting.
It's weird because, like, here's an interesting fact about burns, too. Is that, like, I had one that was on my right here that was like a 4th degree.
On your knuckle.
On my knuckle. And the shit was just, it took so long for it to heal. And I would let it dry out and go in there. And the lady was like, nah, and like started scrubbing off all of it. And she got it all wet, and I was like, I thought it just needed to dry like a normal scab. And she's like, no, burns heal when they're wet.
Interesting.
Oh. Yeah, so it's all this shit they figured out, you know? So they would change my garments, and fucking, I'm already like hot and cold because you can't have temperature. Your temperature regulation is, we're aliens, you know? Like, your skin is incredible. You don't realize until you don't have skin.
Yeah.
And then, so we'd have hydrotherapy when they have to take off all the garments.
Okay.
And they get it all wet, so it's easy to take off. Joe's the man, this burn tech. It was so chill, though. He does it hella fast, and he's hella mellow about it. Like, you're good. And then they take it all off. They wrap new garments, and then they spray the shit they douse it with, like, liquid and then put it on you. And so you're just freezing cold. And then you get in there, and I have, like, 5-10 heat blankets. You know, the nurses would trip out. I was like, I'm cold as shit.
Yeah.
But then I'm hot as shit, and so it was crazy.
Can't regulate your body temperature.
No.
It's like, wow. I mean, I can't imagine. I burned myself cooking. You know, you touch the stove by accident, and that hurts. It's excruciating. You know, and then it lingers for a while. I mean, I can't even imagine what you went through. You know, it's incredible that you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Seriously,
it was
man.
Super close to dying.
Wow.
How long were you in the hospital for?
I was in the hospital for 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
16 days, and then the rest was just...
And your wife was pregnant at the time, too, right?
Yeah.
You got out of the hospital 2 days before she gave birth.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Crazy, dude. Wow. And then, imagine I'm at the hospital, I'm just like... And then my wife, you know, like, I couldn't be there for the whole time, you know, because I needed to be somewhere comfortable.
Right.
So I came in, and then it was just super embarrassing, kind of, because I was all messed up. They like cut the umbilical cord, and like my hands, I could barely cut it, you know.
Oh, they had you cut it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what they do?
Yeah.
You cut it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's all God blessing, and
yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing, it was definitely like the one thing I learned from it is that life is so fragile, you know what I mean? And like that moment when I couldn't tell my wife I love her or nothing. It would happen. And so just got to cherish life, because that's how I felt like when I got out of the coma. It was like, damn, that's the closest you could probably be to dying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Because like you said, you blacked out when you were going into the hospital, and all of a sudden 16 days later you wake up and you kind of have to be filled in on like, what is it really going on?
Yeah.
Dude, for real.
What was it like when you woke up?
You're like completely psychotic. And I thought everyone was like out to get me and shit. You know what I mean? And I was like, but the nurses would come in and I'd be all quiet and shit. And then like my mom, they would bounce and my mom would be right there. I'd be like, Mom, because I thought they were like out to get me and shit, you know? So I was like, we got to get out of here. You know what I mean? My mom, I told her like, we got to go. And she's like, nah, you're all messed up. And then she showed me, I don't know why my mom has this photo, but a photo, my face is all messed up.
Oh, wow.
And she showed me a photo, but I was dead serious. Like, that's a movie.
Oh, you didn't believe
Makeup. Let's go. You know, these people are trapping me here.
I wonder if it's the drugs that they give you to keep you in the coma, and then you have to kind of slowly come off of those to return to normal.
Yeah.
I really think so.
Yeah.
And they said it's super normal, and so I really thought people were like out to get me. And like at one point, I was like, my wife and my mom wouldn't listen to me, and they're like, "You're tripping," because I thought people were out to get me. And then my brother was sleeping right there, and luckily, when it's your brother, they just, if you're wrong, you're wrong. But if you're right, you're right. You know? So I woke his ass up. I was like, Adam, but I was like, you can't speak very loud. I was like, Adam.
Yeah.
And he got up, and I was like, dude, they're here. They're trying to get us or something. And so he went out and looked, and he's like, there's nobody here. And I'm like, whatever, dude, thanks for looking. No,
Well, it's reassuring when, he went out and looked. He actually physically went out, and then rather than just telling you like, no, dude, no,
exactly.
you're tripping, you know.
But it only lasts about 3 days. And then the hard part too is that when you have such an injury, I kept forgetting what had happened.
Oh.
And so I was like, what the fuck, you know?
And do you ever have flashbacks and stuff like that? Because you said you had PTSD and you don't really want to get into it. And I would totally respect that for sure. It must be tough.
It is. Like, it's chill now. It's been about 6 months.
Okay.
But for a while I kept just closing. When I'd go to sleep, it was there. And then it was just like, it's just like the other homie lost his leg, Josh Hansen, you know? And
wow.
It's comparable to that, where it's just like, when this happens, you're like, damn, this happened to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not normal anymore. I'm a burn. That's what's cool at Grossman Center, though. It's like turning victims into survivors, you know? So I'm a burn survivor.
Wow. Well, dude, we're stoked you're here, dude. We're stoked that you're doing well, and man, just keep going, man.
Yeah.
Just thank you.
Living life, you know? Because like you said,
Appreciate
it's fragile. You don't know until, tomorrow.
Anything can happen.
Anything.
Yeah.
You know, we don't realize it. Like you said, you don't think it'll happen to you.
Nah. Especially like skating. I think about this a lot, because skating, it's like, we just believe in ourselves, you know? So you're like, I fucking got this shit, you know? Whether it's a handrail or a hubba or big ass set of stairs, but it's super fucking dangerous. And so now, just like driving a car, like everything I do, I just think twice, because you know, I can't be in the sun for like a year. I got to wear these compression garments, you know, like my whole life is on pause right now. And so it's really nice to just be able to be normal. And when you're normal, you don't really appreciate it, because you're like, whatever, you know?
Yeah, right. You take it for granted almost, you know?
Yeah.
Did you have any skate-related dreams or anything, or anything that was when you were in the hospital?
So many, you know?
Really?
And it was like, those were like the good dreams, you know? It was like,
yeah.
I had a dream where like, I woke up and my mom was just smiling and shit. And I was like, what the fuck, you know? Because I think in this dream, I knew that like I had my legs cut off.
Wow.
Yeah, or something had happened. I don't have any more legs. And then I was like tripping, because like my mom was all happy, and I looked at her, I was like, where are we? And she's like, we're at Nike. And I was like, what the fuck, you know? And in my head, I was like, whatever, like shit's fucked up, but if we're at Nike, like that's good, you know what I mean? That's good, you know what I mean? It's not bad.
Yeah.
And then so they were gonna like, I was gonna be the first bionic leg skater.
That was your dream.
That was my dream. And then it's funny, because like, it was Nike, you know, so it was like this magical place in my dream, and like Costin was like using the computer over there, and like a shot is over here, and then, like one of those soccer dudes was like kicking the ball, and I was like so happy, you know. And I was like, yo, like, but I could barely speak in my dreams, and I was like, Costin, what up? And then like they wouldn't talk to me, And the nurse came and I was like, yo, dude, why won't they talk to me? And she's like, dead serious. She's like, oh, don't even worry about them. You know? And then later, Costin was like, it's funny because it was like Costin, but in my dream Costin.
Yeah.
But he was like being sarcastic, like how he would be, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever, like, you're just here to take our place. And I was like, dude, I'm just happy to be here, bro. Like, you're Eric Costin. Like, you know? Like, it was crazy, you know? Like,
what?
Yeah. And then another dream I had was that, and I think a lot of it was keeping myself, I think like your brain is just on pause for so long that like I was doing whatever I could just to keep myself happy and positive, you know?
Right.
So some of them were super far-fetched dreams, but like one of them was like there was going to be like a big ass World Cup of skateboarding. And so finally there was like real money for all these countries for skating.
Okay.
And that they were like, people wanted me in certain countries or whatever, you know, and it was such an honor. They're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. You're fucked up. We'll get you healed up in skating. Like we need all the dope people we can have. And then so like that was a crazy dream too, because like the nurse, everyone was waiting to see what country I was gonna go to, like some like Jesus Shuttlesworth shit, you know, like some college I was gonna go to, you know. And so I was like, and I'm like we're all mutts, you know, so I could have gone to like a couple different countries based on my heritage. But then like the nurse, for example, was like come in and be like, what country, what spot are you gonna go to? And I'm like, I think this one. And then she was from the different country, and so she'd be all mean after. Like, it was that big, you know?
Really?
But like I said, it was just stuff to keep myself, I think, going, you know what I'm saying?
It's amazing that you even remembered.
That's what I was going to say, dude.
You know,
16 days with the dreams.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember my last night's dream.
Yeah,
for real.
We all supposedly dream every night, but you know, it's just about remembering them.
Sometimes it's weird how you don't remember or you do.
Yeah.
I want to make, I'm in the middle, I just made like a short film kind of about some of it, but I'm going to make, I think, try to make like do a screenplay and just try to pitch it to some people. It's a
That'd be
fucking
dope.
It goes on and on and on. Like at one point, Spike Jonze was making a different movie about skateboarding, and so they had like came. I was like, in the dream, it started like I'm going to Santa Barbara, and everything's fine, you know. And going to Santa Barbara is usually a dope thing. I'm going home, you know. It's like my, you know.
Yeah.
And then I meet up with my mom, and then I go to Church of Skate, and they're like painting some mural. And they like want us to sit there so they could paint the mural. Okay. Which is going along with my dream because I got to sit there, you know. So it's like my dream is making me do what I'm naturally doing. Yeah. And then I go to get some snack or something. And then somebody comes up to me and they're like, yo, they're making a movie about skateboarding. Do you want to be in it? I was like, fuck yeah. They're like, we got to go right now. I'm like, let's go. And then we went and it was like this crazy sound stage or whatever with all these weird, like all white walls with like blue stripes. All like, you had to walk in skinny somewheres, and it was just crazy, you know? And then Spike Jonze was making that movie. Wow. So again, in my mind, I think it was just doing shit to make it like, you know, it was cool. The best thing ever. I was like, Spike Jonze is making a movie about skateboarding. They want me in it too. I was like, dope.
Man, at least these dreams were like uplifting and not dark.
Exactly. Well, there was a bunch of dark ones too.
Yeah.
You know, I had ones that were like, I mean, I was in Bakersfield, and I think in my dreams, this is what's weird, I think, is in the beginning of my dreams, they were good dreams. Okay. Because they had just put me into coma. And then the surgeries are coming. And so the surgeries are entering my coma.
Your body's going through more and more and more.
Yeah, and my body's, it's fucking Freddy Krueger time, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So having these crazy dreams where like, oh man, I was in like fucking Palm Springs or something, like, it was like Muska's old apartment or something, and I was like, I don't like the desert really, you know? I'm not a desert person, so like, I'm like, it's hot, it's deserty and shit. And then like another one was that they had some like, it's so fucking hard to explain, like there was something that happened with like the fires, and they messed with the TVs, and they like, but it was like the government had done something and like switched up on everyone to fuck with us kind of, you know? And so like we had gotten separated into a spot that was in like Palm Springs or Bakersfield. Yeah. But they were like doing shit to us, you know? Like my mom was in like a fucking hazmat suit, and that we couldn't barely get any water, and the water we could get, it tasted really funny. And I was like the only, again in the dream, like the only one, like what the fuck? Like nobody notices this shit, you know what I mean? But those were the dark dreams, but I thought those were me not being right as a person, you know, like, is that the place I'm going to go to, you know, like, this isn't, but then when I analyzed it, it was all based on how I was feeling, I think, in real life.
Man, it definitely gives you a whole new outlook on life. You know, it's like we were laughing because even when you come in here and Kelly was, you know, has his cast on, he fractured his ankle, and you're like, oh, you're good. You know, like not being a dick, but you're like, oh, you're
totally
good.
You'll heal
like,
up.
Yeah. And it's all relative, you know, like my whole life, like it's so dope we brought that up because it sucks so bad for Kelly, obviously, right now.
It's all good. Yeah.
But it's like, it's relative, you know, because I wasn't skating when all this happened. And so I'm not skating. And so when you're skating a lot. And so, but anyone who's watching this, that's what I want them to understand. And that's how I got through it. Because I was like, I've had ACL surgery.
Right.
I've not skated for that long. I've been laid up. And so in my head, I was like, all right, this is what's going to happen. This is how long I got to do it. Fuck it. They said in 8 months, it'll be a thing of the past. In a year, you'll be good.
Okay.
And et cetera. And so anyone who's going through anything, just keep that in your mind that time goes fast. And
It really does. Yeah.
Way
faster
you know
than you think. Yeah.
For real.
It sucks at the time. And then as the time, you just, you know.
You got to find the things to keep you occupied. You know what I mean? And that helps so much. Instead of just sitting on your ass and not doing anything, if you do something every day, that time will go by fast.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. If you compare it to skating too, like somebody was explaining like their foot was hurt, so they did these tricks or something.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, like when all this happened, I was like, I want to read books. I want to like switch up. And so like everything that happens in your life, there's always something you could work on personally that maybe you wouldn't have done that if you were out skating, and now you got all this time. It's like just use your brain or something.
Yeah. So what's the time frame now? Like how good are you? Can you skate at all? When, what are we looking at?
I went skating like maybe 4 months after.
Oh, wow.
And then like kickflip and a couple things, and then like a month after I did like a switchback tail and a back tail.
Okay.
But I literally did it just to be like, okay, I can do it, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm good to skate. I was just having some weird, like my leg garments have like silicone, and so like
interesting.
It was getting like just not good in there, so I didn't want to sweat and make it worse. But then that's why I have to use the washcloth, because I didn't. It's the dead skin was getting moist in there.
Oh.
So now I'm ready to skate. I was having an allergic outbreak too, but I got better from that.
Okay.
So I'm ready to skate right now. It's just one of those things. I'm just mentally like, I'm not like.
Well, you've been through a lot.
Yeah, my right hand too is like it's really sensitive in certain spots.
Slamming and stuff.
Imagine it's gonna slam would suck.
Yeah, you're just kind of like putting it off a little bit.
You got to heal up. You know what I mean? Like skating's not going to go anywhere. You know, just you got to do you.
I mean, at one point when I was laying in the hospital bed, and I was like, "Oh, you have to digest so much," and then my brother came, and I was like, "You know, I might not ever." It gets me emotional. I was like, "I might not ever be able to skate again."
Yeah.
You know, and my brother I have the dopest older brother, and he's like, "You already did that."
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, word." And the fact that I could skate after, though, it was just like, fuck it. You know, I'm not even tripping. I'll wait because I could skate. You know, I know it's there. You know?
Right.
So anyone out there too, like that's the thing, is that it could always be worse. If you could skate, it's pretty good. You know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wow, man. Hey, like I said before, man, we're stoked that you're, you know, on your healing, you know, path and stuff. You know,
Thank you guys so
amazing.
much. Yeah.
Is there any way you can say in a vague sense what had happened? Just because there's people are still going to be like, oh, they just jumped into like dreams and whatever else.
Yeah. It was just a particular situation, and I'll go into it like in the near future, but yeah, it was just like a particular situation that I don't want to go too far into detail. Yeah. It was just like as I'm talking about it, it just gets me like kind of like in that zone.
I think like you said, you know, these things are traumatic. You know, it's like I couldn't even imagine, you know, so. But dude, hey, you know what, man? You'll be back on your board, back tails, fucking
Switch foot back tails.
You know? Maybe even ride horses with Muska.
Exactly. Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Exactly. No,
hopefully you'll invite me, but
I have a whole like new lease on life and shit, and like you know, I've seen this thing where it's like somebody said that if you have $13 in your pocket, you're doing better than like 90% of the population of the world.
Bro.
And so like with what happened, I think that's where my mind is at, where I'm like, you know, we're so, like Nas said, like, why can't I have one chain? Why I gotta have 2, 3 of them? You know, like we're so caught up in the rat race of like materialism and shit. And I don't think we really appreciate just like what we actually have, you know, and that's my whole life. You know, there was like a rapper they were explaining, and it was like, and I think Mac Miller in a lot of ways, you know what I mean? The dude was so fucking dope. Jay-Z's telling him he's dope, but then like he's not getting the certain type of recognition on the mainstream. And so I think it really affected him negatively. But when you look at it, how many people would want to be Mac Miller?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
Right.
I think in life, you know, just like the ankle sprain, you know, it's like my whole life I've been like, I wasn't the biggest name dude. You know what I mean? And everybody who gets in a position that's like a pro, you want to be like the top of your top.
But you were definitely associated with the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
And so, and that's like my mentality now is like, damn, I'm so blessed it ever happened. I'm so blessed people ever even liked my skating, and I'm so blessed to have a house and all this stuff. And that's what I learned from the Coma is like, I've just been not as happy as I could have been, but it's like first world problems. And so if you got a job at fucking Dairy Queen, there's somebody who's holding a sign out in front of Dairy Queen. You know what I mean? Like there's always somebody who's worse.
Yeah.
There's always somebody who's doing better, you know?
Life's a trip. Life's a trip, man.
Yeah, you influenced a lot of people to start skateboarding, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm one right here. So
Thank you.
I
Appreciate
mean, bro,
that.
like, and we could go, you know, let's go back and talk about, you know, even just you started in skating. You know, you grew up in Santa Barbara, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got on like, were you on Powell, like on? For,
Wait, where are you?
You're like
from
11 years
Denver?
old.
Are you from like Colorado or something?
I moved to it was crazy because I got like blessed really, you know. So like I was living in Santa Barbara and like grew up with the skate zone, and then like my brothers were friends with like Dylan Gardner, so like Dylan Gardner sometimes would come over, and Dylan was just like,
He was so good.
he had the fucking juice, you know what I mean? Like he had the juice. And then we just skated skate zone, and I grew up watching like Danny Way, you know, Guy Mariano, everyone you could think of come through. And so it gives you kind of the level. I mean, if you're watching fucking Jordan and these fools dunk, you're going to want to play ball.
I mean, and you're watching it live.
Exactly.
You know, and then they leave the next day. You're probably trying their shit that you're.
I remember watching Dylan do a nollie flip nose slide on the coffin, and it was like this tall, you know?
Yeah.
But then there was a curb across the street that was like this tall. I ran across the street. I was like, you better nollie nose slide this shit. You know what I mean? Like, get this shit popping. Yeah, and so that's how Powell worked into play.
Oh.
And Powell, like, shout out to Powell that they were always willing to invest in like some little rugrats, you know?
Yeah.
But then with Kelly, what Kelly said is I lived in Denver because I moved from Santa Barbara to Boulder.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
The blessing about it is that Denver was like such a poppin' downtown. And so like I wasn't going to get to be able to go to LA a lot, but I could go to Denver a lot. It's only 45 minutes away from Boulder.
Yeah.
And so I got the prime time skating of like a downtown. And so that's when I was in the one of the Powell videos skating. And
okay.
we found our own fountain, you know what I mean? Like you had to find a fountain to do tricks in.
But wait, so in Denver, I mean, you must have been what, 10, 11 years old when you were out there, right? And
Oh yeah, I was like that old. Yeah, like 10, like 11 to 13 or 11 to 14.
okay, and then you moved back to Santa Barbara.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
Shorty started to pop, and then it was just like, I had just done enough of Colorado. And I wanted
Well, how
to go
did
back.
the Shorties thing come into play? Because you're on Powell. You were in like a couple videos too.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
There's such a dope scene in Santa Barbara from way before I was even around. You know, like Billy Backer, Ricky Higgins, Tony Bielis, Eric Hatch. There was this dope ass skater, Victor. I forget his last name, but like Kareem and them would come up to stay and skate with Victor. The scene was just buzzing before I ever even came, you know?
Okay.
And like Ricky Higgins was on Planet Earth and et cetera, et cetera. Like people were, Mike Santa Rosa was on Think, Dylan was on Think and Race. Billy Backer was a part of that original scene. And then he just called me one day and he was like, yeah, just we got you know what I mean? So don't trip. And so that's pretty much how I got on Shorties.
So Billy what was his affiliation with like Shorties?
He
and
was
stuff?
like the team. He was just Tony Billis's like right hand man.
Okay.
And so
The
they were
owner.
kind of just like, yeah.
Gotcha.
And I just,
Were you on the hardware?
I was not on the
Before?
hard. It was like you couldn't be on Powell and Shorties.
Yeah.
You know, they hated each other, and
Yeah.
so Powell by Shorties getting me, it was like their stab at Powell. You know what I mean? That's kind of was the thing.
And did you have to quit Powell? Did you have to call somebody?
I did a lot when I was a kid. You just don't call.
Don't call that.
But you were so young, dude.
I know.
Like,
I was
dude.
just like, but shout out to Mike Taylor, and Todd Hastings and all them. They definitely hooked it up, and
Okay.
I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have.
Oh yeah. But so I mean, Shorties comes around. Now you're like 14 years old, right?
Yeah.
And so you move back to Santa Barbara. Did your whole family move back there, or did you just kind of? How did that work?
I just I took a road trip. I got like in trouble at school, and then I had time, and so I took a road trip out to California, and then like I just called my mom and I was like, I'm not coming home, you know. And
14-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like what?
I got over, you know, and so
What is
they
this?
were pissed, you know. And so my brother Robbie, he ended up moving. I stayed with a bunch of family friends. My brother Robbie ended up moving out and taking care of me.
Older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Huh. I mean,
I feel bad about that.
I couldn't imagine calling your dad 14 years old.
Are your parents still in Boulder?
My mom is in Santa Barbara now. My dad's, he's not here anymore.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
So Shorty's, I mean, when you first got on Shorty's, it was a tight crew, you know? I mean, did you even know this whole... I mean, you couldn't have. At 14 years old. I mean, Muska, Olsen, like...
Did you even know any of the guys yet at that point?
I didn't. They weren't on yet. And so they had gotten Chad later. It was like Chad, Jesse and me were on, but by like whatever you want to call it, you know, that like Chad could veto it, you know?
Yeah.
But Chad met us and then like, you know, he digged us. And so it was cool.
Okay. Oh, so you got on first and then they got Chad and Chad was like...
Yeah, he could decide.
He could decide.
But then me and Chad were always hella cool, so he was cool with us. And looking back, like it's weird because I was so... That's the thing I would explain to people too. Like, don't spend your whole life just like doing what you're doing because then you'll never look at what you're actually doing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I was just too busy doing what I was doing. And so like looking at it, I was like... I wasn't even tripping on anyone or anything that was even happening. You know, I knew that Muska was the fucking man.
Sure.
But I was just so stoked to be on a team. And they're like, they're going to give me my own video part with my own song. And shit, you know what I mean?
Right,
like, But like when the video came out, I knew it was something special, you know, but I didn't...
Fulfill the dream.
Yeah. Personally, I didn't think that it would get the traction it did. And people like it did.
I mean, that's one of the videos that affected me. You know, it was like, dude, one of the best... Just the horses.
Yeah.
You know, listen, I joke about it a lot. You know, I joke about, hey, I want to ride horses with these. But the fact of the matter was, to me, I wanted to be with you guys. It made this team feeling. And it, like the whole video was like, dude, these guys are all homies. And it made me want to like join the crew. You know? And that's the feeling I got from it.
It really did. And we were really a tight crew. And it really was like that. The owner had like the dope house overlooking Santa Barbara with the pool, with the Coronas, with the 1 foot mini ramp. Shot. Like we get over to Tony's house, there's food, there's drinks, there's skating. So it really was like that.
Yeah, I think Brandon was saying the guys would all just kick it at that house all the time.
It was the best, you know.
I think they would advertise it so hard in like the 4-in-1s and stuff, like way beforehand, and it'd always be like coming out soon. And you never knew, so you'd call every week to the skate shop.
Is it coming out?
You're like, yo, is it there? Is it there? And it would be like that for months.
Yeah.
And then one day it's like, yo, it's here. I'm like, what? Fucking book it down there, pick that shit up. Yeah. And then that changed the skate game right there.
Dude,
that video definitely changed it.
Yeah.
For real. And you know what I will... Two things I'll say about it is that, like, for anyone that's their video, like, questionable video was my video. And so, like, I get it, you know, because that shit was, like, it would just change my whole life. And so... I understand if it gave you that same feeling because I know how it felt when I watched that.
Yeah.
But I feel like you and like Jesse gave like young kids hope. Like I could be sponsored one day too. Like,
dude, I literally saw him and I was like, I not that I can do it because your tricks were insane, but like I want to look like that, and that's how like that's skateboarding right there to me.
That's dope. I really appreciate you guys saying that, man. It really means a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just what we were kind of going for and stuff. And so I think... Oh, that's what I was going to say about the video, too, is that I knew we had something special because it's like nowadays you film a video part, like there's always one person who's got the most footage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always one. It's like
always
one,
that Mark Johnson.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This video came and like everyone had a grip of footage because we all didn't have sponsors from before, you know? So I think that's what made it magic, too, is that you're watching like 4 years worth of footage of people. And in 4 years, you're going to get, 4 years of Olsen, Smolik, and Muska footage.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen what they produced.
Yeah.
Sure. Damn. Did you get to pick your song, The Beat Nuts? Or was
I
that
did.
Just,
I did.
you?
It's funny because I wanted to... it's like... I don't even like telling this story because people love that song so much. And
It's
I
a
do
great
too.
song, yeah.
Like Big Pun's amazing and it worked perfectly. I originally wanted to use the beat with the taxi sample.
Oh, okay. The theme song, yeah.
And in the beginning though, it was like... And at Shorty's, they didn't give a fuck, dude. So you know...
right.
But then I came through and I'm like 13 years old and the song I choose in the beginning, it's like, your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Oh my God. They're just like,
Yeah, they're like, Sam, like, that's a little bit too raw. And I was like, all right, fuck. But that Beat Nuts album was fire.
Yeah.
And none of them were used, and so I just went through and that was my other favorite beat.
Okay. Great song.
Yeah,
Great
thank you.
song.
As a kid, we went off beats, not by the lyrics, you know? It's
Yeah.
weird.
I mean, a lot of skate videos, I don't remember, but I mean, that's how I discovered a lot of music, you know, was these videos.
Yeah.
The music rights weren't
yeah.
a
It's
thing,
like-
right?
Oh, yeah. No.
It was a thing. You just barged it.
Oh, yeah.
You got
All
cease
the
and
music.
desist.
Yeah, like all the music. I remember I mean, one that sticks out so hard in my head is that Day One song, that I Know I Love You Better.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah. You good whistler.
That's
not bad.
You know, it's...
I can't do it.
Olsen told me one time, he's like, you got a good bird whistle, man.
Bird whistle.
That's for you, Olsen.
Did you, now, speaking of Olsen and all these guys, I mean, 4 years to film this video, Fulfill the Dream.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you must have been just going on.
It wasn't 4 years. It was like everyone probably had 4 years worth of footage.
I see what you're saying.
They're just sitting on
okay.
that.
Because
Yeah,
Muska
right.
had that part already from like Toy Machine, right?
Yeah.
Basically, right?
Literally, everyone, like, Snyder had just pieced out from Maple, and
Yeah.
he was in limbo. Smolik was just like in limbo from another Canton Russell company, and then Olsen had just quit Foundation, and Muska had just quit Toy Machine. And so I think all that
Gotcha.
footage, you know, it's all built up from then. So we're watching Olsen from, I forget the last Foundation video, but that's his footage from then to then, you know.
So you weren't really, I mean, I'm sure you guys were all filming for the video too, but so there wasn't like a bunch of tours to go on. It wasn't like big filming missions.
Not too much. Like
No.
we literally went to like SF, I think.
That's it.
Yeah, a lot of the
Get out
footage
of
is in
LA,
Santa
you know?
Barbara, right?
Yeah, like Santa
Yeah.
Barbara, LA. I'm telling you, it's like the theme song of the video is "Party ain't shit if it don't got a keg." Like that, that shit wasn't far away from people's homes. You know? Smollett couldn't go too far from Claremont.
Yeah.
Dog, you know?
For real. He killed it in that video.
He did. He
God.
did.
So
You,
good.
everybody did. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude. Okay, so
But can I add something really quick?
Go ahead.
That was a rad video, especially because it was a lot of new faces to a kid that I've never like.
Yeah.
I didn't know who you or Jesse or like, you know what I mean? Like
Tone.
Smollett,
Tone.
Tone.
Yeah.
You brought all these new skateboarders to like all these to my eyes, and I was like, fuck, these guys are all amazing. Never heard of them.
Yeah. I mean, same for me too. I mean, Tone's magic tricks alone just got me hooked.
For real.
Fuck
Do you know
You ever figure out the napkin trick?
Yeah, the
the
napkin,
napkin
thing.
trick? And you know what I think? I really think, like, looking back, and this is just well, first of all, I think a lot of people that like try to play cool, you know. And for me, I'm just a skater. I just always been a skater. I love skating. So for me, I think looking at all those AMs, like we're just a product of watching the Questionable and the Girl and Chocolate dudes. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
We're just like, this is the shit. So we're just like little mini me's of that. So I think that's why people probably were digging it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're just like, all right, these dudes got the formula. And then we're the first little kids who are like doing it kind of the way that people, you know,
Right.
not the way that people should be doing it, but the way to inspire kids to not just do.
You got recognized by it by somebody above, like
Yeah.
So they brought you on, yeah.
Plus you're ripping.
Yeah, undeniably.
Yeah.
But so when the horses, okay, when you guys were doing, like, when somebody brought up, hey, we're gonna go do this thing, we're gonna go ride horses. I mean, yeah, you're 14 years old. I mean, was there any like backlash, like, dude, what, we're fucking riding horses, or was it like hey, let's go fucking do this?
I mean, looking back, I don't know what we were thinking. I know it was definitely like, all right, here we go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what we're doing, but for me, again, like I was just with the team, and I was like, word, you know, like I'm going somewhere, and they're hyped to have us, and Tony's
Right.
paying for shit, and this is good. But the horses were like harder to ride and stuff, and it was definitely interesting to see like all these people who are hella like pro skater dudes, and they're on a horse
riding
like,
horses.
I don't think anyone riding a horse is hella cool. You know what I mean? You're just like, all right, I'm gonna do this.
I thought you guys were pretty cool, man.
We
You know?
tried. We tried. Muska had his backpack on. He always looked
It's
cool. You know?
always, bro. But no, it's fun. I just that video. Just like I said, that was a feeling. That was a video that gave me the feeling, you know, of like the team and the.
You wanted to hang out with them.
I wanted to hang out with them.
Yeah.
I wanted to hang out with you guys.
I think, you know what I really think too about that video and about those times is like, we genuinely didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, Steve Rocco was basically Tony Beals' mentor. And so Tony was like, everything goes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so people just loved it, you know? And I think the more and more as we went on, it kind of got, when money gets involved and stuff, it just changes a little bit. But that's why those times were so magic, because it was like, I mean, there's footage of me like throwing up in front of a 7-Eleven, and I'm like 13 years old.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? You know, like,
Would you have a bad cheeseburger? What's it-
exactly. But crazy times, but it sold, you know?
Yeah. No, man, it was great. You and Jesse Sylvie, any competition? You guys were like the young kids on the team. Did you guys feel any, were you guys battling at all, or what was going on there? Anything?
Yeah, there was always like a competition, but it was like a dope like he wouldn't have got as good as he was, and I wouldn't have got as good as I was. Okay. And we would like
just push one another.
Yeah, we're the kids who were like with the big ass camera, you know what I mean, in the parking lot. Like before we was even, this is like 9-10 years old, and we was already filming each other.
Oh, really?
And so it definitely changed a little bit, like when you get on a company and stuff, and just yeah, it was everything from cars to girls to gold chains to every single thing you could think of. We were battling and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But good. But homie battling.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right.
All making each other look good. He was always older too, so like he had the car, he had this.
Okay.
But I was right behind him, you know?
Right. Yeah.
When you went back to Santa Barbara, did you just skated and that's it? You didn't go to school or anything?
What happened is that I kept ditching when I was in Boulder, and like I just couldn't get it together, you know. And it was just like, I remember there was a moment where we were like smoking, and we were ditching, and we were listening to Jizza Liquid Swords, and he's like, I'm lounging between two pillars of ivory, I'm lively. And I remember being like, dude, this is just the dopest. Like, I don't know why I ended up there, you know. But so I messed it up, and they told me, they're like, all right, you already screwed this whole year.
Oh.
And I was like, well, then fuck it, you know what I mean? And that's why I went to Santa Barbara.
Oh.
But then I enrolled the next year and stuff, and so.
Oh, in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It messed me up a lot because I was behind a year, you know?
Yeah.
The advice I'd give to kids is that just like go, you know? Just go and do your homework, and just, there's girls, there's all this cool stuff there, and I didn't realize it when I was a kid. I just wanted to be somewhere else. But like the cool kids that are older, they're not doing anything, you know what I mean? They're
working shitty jobs.
Exactly. And like going to skate at 3 when you're going to skate at 3, you know what I mean? Like your day isn't changing based on you going to school.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you even like recognized at school for like being a skateboarder like that, or did people even not even care?
They didn't give a shit. In Colorado, they were like, I remember I got like some Duffs. Shout out Jay Strickland. He gave me a box of Duffs back in the day, and I had those like Knockenbockers or whatever they're called, you know?
Cobnobblers.
Yeah.
Those were already like poofy, you know what I mean? And I was like, you know how we was doing, you know? I was like doing the most. And so I remember this girl being like, why are your shoes so poofy, and like blah blah. And so we was definitely not get shown love back then.
What about later years in like Santa Barbara?
And even in Santa Barbara, like not as much as you'd think, you know what I mean? It was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I was super small and shit too. So like Jesse was getting love, and
There was a skate scene in Santa Barbara, right? I mean, Powell Skate Zone was right there.
Church of Skating?
Church of Skating. So everything. Maybe there was more of skaters around, you know.
Yeah, they were like, I was just in my head, I was just thinking of it, and I was like, I was cool with all the skaters because there wasn't that many skaters, and so they're already, I mean, they buy product from us, they're already fucking with us, you know.
Okay, yeah.
And then the other kids, they're not really even caring, you know.
Right.
And so it's like, it's not, skating wasn't that big to where it was like, after I got out of high school, or like the end of high school, it was like, damn, these are the fools that are getting the Shorties is pretty much like Supreme back then.
Yeah.
And so everyone was
Kind of was.
Yeah.
everyone was
That way,
tripping on it. Yeah. So, but not really like you'd think, you know.
Were you getting paid as an AM?
Yeah, I was getting paid.
Yeah, straight away.
Not straight away. They made it like Brandon and all them, they were getting paid because it was like Chad's thing, but I was like the little homie, and so, but granted, looking back, it was good the way they did it. They made me get like I had to get 3 checkouts, and then after my 3rd checkout, then I could start getting a check.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good way to
Make
do
you
it.
put
Establish
the work in, yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
Sick.
And so each thing was like that. You know, the more things you do, the more we'll get you.
Were you getting shoes from some certain company back then, or just buying shoes?
Yeah, I was
Were you in a Sorga?
Yeah, I was like getting S. At one point I had gotten a Duff's, DVS, and S in 1 month, you know?
3 boxes.
3 boxes. But all through like homies and shit, you know?
Right.
And so, but then of course I chose S because it was like, I'm a kid, I want to be next to Costin, you know?
Sure.
But then, so I was like pretty much as close as you could be to getting on. And like I would send I remember sending the photos to Don Brown, and it was just always like not big enough or something. Not like knocking him, but it was true that it was not big enough for me.
For
you know?
for what
was
was
just-
going on to it in skateboarding at that
No,
point?
I was
or-
just doing like I would switch backs. I'd flip like a big 3 or something. It was like I need to switch backs. I'll flip a big 4.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just that. It was just the way it was. You know, like they would give me an ad, which was Arnold, and they would give me all kinds of stuff. I remember them sending me a present, but then I quit for Circa.
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought that because it was Chad's company, that he would just put me on. And so that didn't happen that way. And then so that's kind of how that went, you know? And so I got hurt, so I tore my ACL. And so looking back, for kids who are getting sponsored and stuff, like when you reach that point, like I shouldn't have gone just to Circa. I should have shopped around. And whoever would have actually given me a deal, that's who I should have went with, you know?
You were going to Circa just on a hunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't talk to anybody first.
No.
No.
Well, Chad was like, yeah, we got you. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
But what does got you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But
Right.
the thing is, at that time too, I'm like, it's like, I don't think it's a thing for me to be on a company or not on a company. No, I don't think it was a disservice to any shoe company to not have me on their company. And so I wasn't thinking, I've never been a doubter, you know what I mean? And so in my mind, I was like, I got whoever's going to be on board is going to be on board, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I did come through in a lot of circles, but then I got hurt, and then Chad had a falling out with them. And so all these things happened. you know?
Yeah.
The main thing that would happen, I would say, to like take credit for what I did wrong is that I went on a Europe trip with them, and I was just like, it was honestly just Chris Cole fucking Appleyard, just, you know what I mean? It was like, I'm more of a street skater who goes and films and shoot photos, and these dudes are just demo annihilators, you know?
Wow.
That was the radio video?
Yeah.
That was
okay.
That had been sick.
that was a heavy video.
was.
Yeah.
So I think that was, and it's like, I can't, you know, if I'm fucking not starting 5 with these dudes, it's not that bad to me, because I'm like, those dudes were just, you know, Appleyard was just incredible, and everyone was just crushing it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a different type of skateboarder almost, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because the footage of Chad of getting chased by like 200 people and shit like that.
Oh, it was crazy. I remember that. Yeah. Chad jumped on this dude's car, and then it was the dude's real car. And he's like, "Get the fuck off my car!" But then like in Dutch, you know what I'm saying? And Chad just like, "Whatever. I'm just trying to like save myself." You know what I mean? It was scary, dude. Like straight Beatles shit. You know what I mean? I was like,
oh my God.
to everyone who's like wondering about the Circa thing, people ask me like, "Didn't you have a shoe on Circa?" That's what kind of happened, and it was crazy because I went to Barcelona right after.
Okay.
And like everything just happened, you know what I'm saying? Like if Barcelona would have happened when I was on that trip, I probably would have been on Circa. But I think it's just a testament too to like when I got to Barcelona, I was with all my friends, I was with my filmer, you know, I was very comfortable.
I
Yeah,
totally feel you on that.
that's all the kids out there. That's what you guys don't understand too. It's like one thing to ball on your home court, it's another to like go wherever and deal with, you know. And it's
oh yeah.
when I remember Jamie filming me at the Milan train station. I'm like, damn, fucking Jamie Thomas over here filming me. And he's like, dude, I got the angle, just go. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Jamie Thomas.
yeah.
What
But
were you
it's-
trying?
Just some whatever line. I did like a fakie switch crook and a switchback tail shove or something.
Okay, that's a great spot.
Oh, it's
Milan
the
train
best,
station.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That rough grind.
it's
huh?
so good.
It's nice.
It's so good. What age did you tear your ACL?
I tore my ACL at 19, I think.
19.
And that shit was
Okay.
like,
Is that after guilty or before guilty?
that was after guilty. And so
Oh.
that is like a defining moment in my career, I think. And a moment of like, that's when I fell off. You know, that's when
Oh.
it was like, you know, and it took me so long to come back. Because right during that, it was just like after guilty, I'd fractured my ankle trying to nollie crook ghetto hubba.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then it took me a minute to come back. But then I was living in SF,
Uh-huh.
and SF had just like helped me in so many ways. Because like for one, the SF don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? So you just got to
Sure.
do your thing. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But then Pier 7, like it taught me so much, you know what I mean? And gave me a whole new like bag of tricks and everything. So then after I was just on a really good one, you know, and feeling really, really confident, like almost switch flip back tailed the ADP hub in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like 2001 or 2002, you know?
Okay, wow.
And so, and at the same time, I'd switch heel flip that 4-flat-4 out there. It was just happening really fast, and I tore my ACL, and it was just heartbreaking because
Yeah.
I was like,
You were on one.
yeah, exactly. But then, in a lot of ways too, it helped me because I could, I was in the gym and eating better and stuff.
Okay.
And
So when you healed up from the ACL, were you back like 100% again? Because you said you said you felt like you kind of fell off after that, though.
something was just off, you know, and I wasn't smoking weed.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That
And
could
so
be-
it was like,
I mean,
it's true. I don't know. Certain people, you know, I've seen certain people just get lazy, of course, when they smoke weed, but certain
Yeah.
skaters I think look better when they smoke weed.
uh-huh.
And so for me, I just could not find my rhythm, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like How to Go Pro is my next video part, and a lot of people say that like that's one of their favorite video parts. And for me, I was just like, oh, it just seemed kind of soggy and just doing the.
Really?
I wasn't doing like the most, you know what I mean? But I was trying.
Yeah.
But
Right.
then I think anyone that goes through ACL is like, it's a while, you know what I mean? So it took me about 2 years or something.
Oh, 2 years.
2 years, 3. No, but I was skating before that. So How to Go Pro was right when I got back.
Okay.
And so it took me that much longer to get like, you know.
Did your knee ever feel like it came back to normal at this point, or does it
Not-
always feel kind of weird? Because I feel like that's like I had the hip problem. I feel like, man, it doesn't feel the same.
It felt fine. It was just like after I would skate, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. But it was definitely in your head and just like, I don't know, makes you more of a pussy kind of, you know what I'm saying? You're
Well,
just
what
You're
did
afraid
you
of
think?
tearing it again.
How did you hurt it? You said, wait, what did you say you hurt it on?
It was so random. So like, I initially, before Guilty came out, I was trying to switch back heel flip the Bricktown 4 flat 4.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
the one in Tampa.
yeah. And then like I tried it and the fucking wind came right then, and so I shot out all crazy and fucking landed one leg and it jarred my knee all gnarly.
Oh,
And then I think it partially tore it there and then tore it there. And then I got back and filmed all of Guilty. And then I had just in like 1 month I did like that Miami trip. I got back, I switched back lip this Berkeley 8 rail, came to LA, switch heel flip Blue Cane, nollie kickflip double bar, or nollie kickflip Belmont 9, nollie frontside kickflip double bar. And this was all in like,
I haven't heard these names in so
So
long.
long,
yeah.
The spots,
I know, and it-
dude, are so sick.
for real, it's so long ago.
Yeah.
But that was all in like a month or 2 weeks, you know what I mean? So I was just like, it's on, you know, like literally it's going to be, I'm going to have a video part in like a month.
With what you think was a partially torn ACL.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I went to Newbury Park double set and I was trying to, with Paul and all these fools, and I was trying to switch tray flip it and I didn't get it. Then it's a long story, sorry. Then I fucking am warming up in Santa Barbara, and they're just trying it in Santa Barbara, so I'm going to go that night. And I fucking did a switch tray flip, landed, and just jerked my knee. And that was it.
No.
Wait a minute, on flat?
warming
On flat.
Wow.
You landed it too.
Landed it, rolled away,
Just jerked your
Just
knees.
landed weird.
jerked my knee.
Oh my gosh.
And so imagine just mental fucking
Oh my God.
anguish. I was like, what the fuck, you know? So that's, I think, too, when I came back from knee surgery, it was scary because it was like, damn, little thing did it.
Little thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could really mess you up mentally, for
real.
sure.
But I think, too, it was like when Kobe busted his Achilles, you know?
Yeah.
It's a timing belt that's just right there, you know? So doing all those tricks, I did it on a torn ACL. My ACL was just ready, you
It's
know what I
ready
mean? It was
to
like, it
go.
didn't matter if it was down the stairs or on flat. It
Yep.
was like, it's
Yeah.
over, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
So Guilty. Oh, you said that a lot of people talk about your How to Go Pro video.
Yeah, they like that one
Yeah.
and stuff, which is, it's cool, but it's just like whatever to me. I don't know.
Huh.
It was a good song too.
And then
Thanks, yeah.
is
I think
that
the song did it more than the
Yeah.
skate.
Oh, did? Hey, the song is almost it's half the video. I
It
think,
is, yeah,
you
it
know,
is.
half the part. And then is that when after you turn pro? I mean, before after
Yeah.
the video you turn pro?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a long time. That's almost like
Yeah.
from fulfill the dream to then. That's almost like 11 years or something. No.
Yeah, what had happened is that the owner, I called the owner, like everyone went through their phases, and this is kind of why Shorty's pieced out, is everyone went through their phases of like, yo, like we deserve a certain amount.
Okay.
You know? And then at that time when you're skating at that level, I was like, I feel like I deserve an amount, you know?
Sure.
So I called up the owner and was like, yo, and I'd already got it through Chad, and Chad was like, yeah. And so I
And plus,
called,
they're putting other people on the team now too.
yeah.
Yep.
And so I called the owner and was like, yo, I want to raise, I feel like I deserve this much. And
Okay.
he was a businessman and he's smart, and he was like, yo, everyone's saying that you should be pro anyways, and so let's just turn you pro. And I was like, this is one of the best from my heart decisions, but worst in business decisions, you know, is I told Tony, I was like, you know, if Jesse doesn't go pro right now, I don't want to go pro right now.
Oh.
And so like me being down my homie held back my career in that sense, and I would have been, my turning pro right then would have did a lot more for me. to say the
Oh,
least.
okay. And this was way
It would have
before
been a
that.
smart move to turn both of you guys pro because you guys came up together, you know?
Yeah, but they were like, it just wasn't in the cards at that moment
Interesting.
for Jesse, and it
Okay.
was for me. And it, like you said, it would just be, what are you going to tell your friend
Yeah.
if you're? And Jesse, I love you. You know, this is just the real story. You know.
Yeah.
No, but he had to know too, though, man. You were
Yeah.
like you were just a little bit above, you know, like doing your thing, you know.
It got to the point where with money involved and everything, it sucked. You know, that's why looking back, I should have just went pro, and it should have just been like, hey, this is what it is. You know.
Well, I think too, a lot of times too, the dynamic of a team changes as well, because Shorty's they were the same squad for a long time, and then all of a sudden they're adding, these people, Fabrizio Santos and
Tori,
Tori,
yeah,
you know,
Marius, they had a Marius.
Lima,
Rodrigo Lima.
Rodrigo Lima.
Anthony Mosley.
Anthony Mosley.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that can change the
What-
dynamic too, and all of a sudden you're still getting the same paychecks,
Yeah, and
and
the board
then
sales probably aren't even there.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that
Andrew Pott.
It was crazy how that all happened.
Oliver
too. It's like,
Rivas.
all those little
Name dropping
homies.
guys.
Yeah.
Marius.
But Shorty's really changed within like a few years.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and there's a point where I think that they thought that it was the skaters, you know. So like, all right, we got to get rid of these skaters to get the sales back up, but that's not always the case
Right.
with every company.
No, I mean, well, Shorty's popped off because they got Muska.
Yeah,
Like,
straight up.
And Olsen.
And then the crew below it, like this.
Yeah, the support system.
Support system.
Supporting
was so,
cast.
Yeah, it was so good.
No, but you're dead on for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, Muska had so much before Muska even got on the team. I remember waiting at the shop for the Welcome to Hell so I could see that fucking video part. I remember being to Jamie like, "Where's Muska's part?" And Jamie being like, "I'm like, he's on the poster. And his part is in here." So Roger's dead on. It was Muska all the way for
Yeah.
sure.
What's
Right.
crazy though is like Shorty's built their brand on backpacks and hardware. And when they came out with boards, everyone that was on a hardware team, they had to quit because like now like they all had other board brands.
Yeah.
Not
was pretty-
everyone did.
But it's
a
always
lot of
it's
people
always a
did.
weird thing
Yeah.
though. It's
Yeah.
always
Like,
a weird thing.
Jamie brought that up when we were on the Europe trip, and he's like, "Yeah, like Tony like backdoored everyone by doing that." I don't know. To
He
me,
was
it's,
expanding his brand.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
You know.
to me, it was like I feel like if you do that this day and age, you're like shooting yourself in the foot.
Oh,
you know?
totally.
But
Right.
at that
I feel like
time-
Diamond did that with footwear.
Yeah, and it
Right.
makes yourself that you don't. Nobody can really rock it.
Yeah.
But they had Muska, and Muska was just like an anomaly. You don't get. There's only
that doesn't come around every day.
No, I don't care whoever says whatever. It's like there's. I was just thinking of, like Outkast, and they're like, this dude didn't recognize Outkast, but they recognize Jay-Z. You know what I mean? So there's people that last and people that don't. There's no way to guess who's gonna be who.
Muska.
The Muska. It was
The
you know-
Muska.
Side note, you know what's funny? It's not even funny. It was annoying at the time, but like wherever we'd go, they'd be like, "Where's Muska? Where's Muska?" I was like, "I don't know." You know, like
Yeah.
I'm over here, like I got a video part to film. Like
Yeah.
I don't know where Muska is, dude. He skates different stuff than me. Like he doesn't want to skate tables.
Yeah.
Chad to skate everything, but
Yeah.
But they just thought that you guys were.
we're all together. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
every
I don't
day.
know.
But again, a good person to be associated with.
That's
Oh, yeah,
true.
it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like these guys used to like all the audio guys used to get bummed when like we'd go on tour where everyone like we like, "Where's Bam at?"
It helps, yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it helps.
No,
you guys,
it's
yeah.
totally. But when you're in the moment, you know,
Yeah.
looking back, yeah, for sure. You know, Sean White's, Bam's. But I never had a really problem with Bam. Bam was always super cool.
Oh, yeah.
He was always super cool. It was just, I think it was a Sean White's. You
You're
know,
like,
and
yeah.
yeah, you just kind of get over, you know. But then looking back, you're like, oh, okay, well, Sean White was helping the brand, and you know, was
Exactly.
helping me,
Coattails.
and you know, it's like, yeah, everybody works together.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
So. The Muska. Anytime there's the in front of the name, you know
It's
that
major.
you're.
Yeah.
It's major. Yeah.
And shout out to Chad too. We just did this art show, and he donated a piece for the art show. And
Oh, rad.
yeah, so he's always looked out. And Chad's somebody who, he was like the funnest to be on the team with. 'Cause it was like he just had it popping, you know. Whether it was like the models in New York with the Cristal. The first time I ever did that was like 16 years old or something. And wherever we'd be, it was just crazy. You know, Japan. I remember just people just bring stuff up to Chad and just be like, "Oh, the Vancouver story is better than the Japan one." We got this big ass joint, you know. We got this big ass joint, and it was like, we're like, "Yo, did you roll this for us?" You know. I think Chad said that because Chad is a very humble dude.
Yeah,
And the
he
dude
is.
looked at Chad. He's like, "I rolled this for you, Muska, for you." And like,
No way.
that's the story of like Chad anywhere he goes. Is people are just like, "It's you, Muska." Like,
Yeah.
here, I got this boombox for you. Like, I
Yeah.
got this barbecue for you. You know.
Wow.
Crazy.
And it's funny because with all of that going on, like you said, he's the most humble dude.
Yeah, he's the
like it
coolest
never.
dude.
I don't think it ever went to his head.
No, he's just living it, having a good time.
It had to been trippy.
It had to have been trippy, for sure.
Yeah.
One time we were chilling and there was this dude, I forget what the fuck they called him, dude. It's a German something, but it was Smolek's homie. He could bust, this German skater, I forget his name.
Okay.
And he showed up at Chad's house and like I don't even know how he got to Chad's house, but I think he stayed there the night before and was like outside stretching like in his boxers. And like Chad had just moved to like Westwood and he's like, "What the hell is this Euro dude doing out here? Like you can't just be stretching out here in your boxers." And then like Chad got dressed. No, the dude is already dressed, and then Chad got dressed and like had the Chad kit on, you know?
Yeah.
And the dude went and like put the exact same kit on.
No.
Yeah, and so like those are the things that was like weird, obviously for Chad, and it'd be like, damn, it's kind of nice when you're not that dude, you know?
Yeah.
Totally. But that's his idea. I mean, God, everybody.
Everyone wanted to be
everybody
him.
wanted to be. Yeah.
The Musk, yeah.
Everybody wanted to be. I wanted to be him. No, I never
course.
could.
You never
but-
skated with a boombox.
No, or a
That
backpack.
looks so nuts. Like to do that is probably so dangerous. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Was there always stuff in his backpack, or did he just wear like? Did
Ice
he
cream.
just put newspaper in there?
Looking back, I don't know, but Chad was just an all-terrain vehicle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he probably had like some trees in there, some drink or something. I don't know. It's normal. Looking back, like we had a van, you know, there's a team manager. You could carry your backpack for you. Like there's no reason to wear it. You know?
Right. But this became his thing. It's like his identity,
Yeah.
you know, and the swishy pants and everything.
Exactly.
Dude, what was it like going into Shorty's warehouse when you were like younger?
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine.
This is the best. Dude, yeah.
You lived in Santa Barbara. You go there and get like, dude,
Yeah.
the backpacks were so sick. Dude.
I think even Brendan Turner said that his first Shorty's box was the best box he's like ever gotten.
Looking back, it's one of those things that like I was on for so long that it was just like standard issue. You know what I mean? That another thing in my life I just took for granted, kind of. And so, but we got like boxes every 2 weeks, and it just definitely fed us, and it was the dopest. You could get every single thing you wanted. You know?
I mean, obviously selling stuff too. That's what kids do with this. Yeah,
of course.
Right.
Here's the dopest part actually about getting Shorty's boxes is like it was good as gold at any skate shop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I could just trade anywhere for anything. You know?
Here's a box of bolts.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
here's 4 sets of bearings. Boom! I got some new Nikes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Black Panthers. there you
Yeah,
go.
dude. And it was the best ever. That was the best about the Shorty's boxes. And then
They
people
made
just,
good products, dude.
They
They
did.
did.
Yeah.
They did.
They did. I remember Mike Carroll was gripping his board, and with Black Magic, and we were all like, "Holy shit!" They sent him a bunch of grip tape too, and they're like, "We don't even care what the fuck you do with it. We know you rock it. Here you go. Thanks, dude."
That's a good grip
Damn.
tape though.
It is, yeah. Their whole. It's interesting because I just did these Fulfill the Dream hats,
Yeah.
and then
You did those on your own?
I did these on my own.
Okay.
And then, because they haven't done anything for a while,
Right.
and he's really hard to get a hold of, the owner.
Tony?
So I was just like, whatever. I don't think he's gonna give a shit. But
Okay.
then they reached out, and they were hella cool about it. They're like, just chill. You know, we don't want to release anything right now.
Okay.
But then I hit them up and explained like, hey, let's re-release a bunch of stuff. And so they said in about 6 months.
Oh wow.
So hopefully that'll be in the works too. Is
Oh,
coming
cool.
out with some.
Are they still making hardware and everything?
They still do. They're just they have a bunch of accounts from before and stuff. So they're just. But
I feel like they need to start doing backpacks again.
I was just thinking that too. They have a bunch of products that
Yeah.
The owner, he's just very particular, and so I'm trying to get him to. It's kind of like Willy Wonka, and I'm trying to be the kid with the golden ticket. So I'm like, bro, you know,
Yeah.
that's what I just said in the email. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know what I mean? You don't want anyone fucking with your shit. Like,
Yeah,
I won't
of
fuck
course.
with it. Just let me run with it and
Yeah.
do it the way we should do it. 'Cause
Yeah.
But that'll be exciting. It was a good run they had.
Totally.
I feel like it's a good time to the retro stuff.
A lot of that. Yeah.
I've been seeing the shirts around. They had like the shirt that if you fold together, it says like "fuck you" or
Yeah.
something like that. Like, but dude, totally is like now's the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I was explaining to them too. Like, I think the old way of doing it is kind of dead, you know, and you can't just make one shirt and have a bunch of them, you know? So I was telling them, like, you got to make a bunch of one and dones kind of.
Yeah, just limited product, whatever.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You
But
got
I
all
mean,
these-
like the hardware though, like they were crushing it with hardware.
Oh my God.
Silverados and all that.
Ro,
shit.
did you ever meet Rosa?
I did, yeah.
You did. Oh.
She was like hella
Oh,
nice
shit.
though, too. It wasn't like, you know,
Okay.
it wasn't like that, you know, but I was hella young too.
I know, but I'm just saying she was hot.
Oh, she was hella hot, yeah. But like I said, whenever
growing up as a kid, you see this.
You ever post it
Yeah.
on the wall?
we did, yeah. Yeah, that one. The one where she's like pulling her shorts down
Oh
a little
my
bit and had the
God.
shorties right there.
Damn, that was like
fun.
the skateboarders like Wendy Peppercorn. They were like from
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Sandlot.
saying. Being
Yeah.
a kid, like,
She's a school teacher now or something like that.
oh yeah,
She is like in Oakland or something.
it's amazing. So the Shorties thing, when that kind of fell apart, what did you end up doing?
Was just drunk for a couple months.
Just drunk.
Yeah.
Well, how did it end?
It was just like it just kind of unraveled, and so like Chad just hit like I think every athlete aside from I think like NFL, MLB, all that shit, they get paid so much, so the money is so enticing that you never really hit that wall. But you see with a lot of skaters that just go and go and go, they hit a point where they're kind of just like, you know, Chad grinded so many rails, he did so much shit, he kind of just wanted to chill for a little bit.
Yeah.
And while it's good for him and his life, it wasn't that good for Shorty's and the team building or anything.
Right.
So, but nobody was knocking him, you know. It's like I would do the same thing, you know. If you're chilling, then go chill.
Sure.
But that's what kind of happened with Shorty's, that we lost our team captain, and so it was like I'm not a big enough person to draw anyone big to come ride for our company. And then the people that we did have ride for us, it wasn't like they weren't Steve Olson and Peter Smolik, you know what I mean? Not to knock anybody, but we had really big all-stars.
Right.
And then it kind of just was a glacier that was just melting. And I remember the day that Benny, the team manager, called and was like, yeah, Chad's quitting. And it was like, I had to quit right then to not be a part of the downfall, you know what I mean? So I quit just to be like, all right, cool, we're all quitting, you know? It's not like, that's kind of how
I think
it all
some
happened.
people stayed on though, right? Didn't Brandon, he stayed on for a little bit too.
Yeah, Brandon stayed on. But it was like, the thing is, I knew the owner really well, and the team manager is like, that's like being co-signed from the top to the bottom. Like, it's time to go. You know what I mean? So like, you can leave or we can piece everyone out, you know?
Right.
Not in a negative way. He was just like, it was just done, you know?
You hit the reset button.
The feeling was
Exactly.
there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was just, people weren't as happy. He wasn't as happy. The honeymoon was over, you know?
Yeah.
Man. And this is like a year or two after you turned pro.
Yeah, exactly. So super heartbreaking and just really lost. I was like living with my brother at the time. My brother was tripping and stuff, and not tripping, but just like when you're a pro skater and don't have a pro board, you know, a pro company, who the fuck are you, you know?
Get pay rent.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Seriously.
But it put a crazy fire under me. Like, it was like my ACL surgery again, you know what I mean? Where like I was you know, like I was getting paid well from shorties for so long. And so it was like, at the end we weren't, but like for so long you get in your head, you're like, I'm doing good at what I'm doing. So it's easy to not push yourself to like that level. Cause if I do get hurt, then it's really over, you know? And I've already had ACL surgery. And then so after shorties, it was like, fuck, like if I don't skate my ass off, then ain't nobody gonna want to sponsor me anyways.
Yeah.
And so it gave me a drive, and then you'd keep trying crazy stuff and you'd land some stuff and you get stoked. So I feel like it was a blessing, you know. It sucked to not have big backing.
Sure.
But I was so stoked to get dope skating in. And right then York and Chocolate had both parted ways. And so me and Mike were just in a position. I was like, perfect. Mike's fucking Mike York, you know?
Yeah.
And so again, I felt like it was good for both of us because it was like Shorties meets Chocolate. Now all my people that fuck with me, obviously everyone fucks with York, you know?
Yeah.
And we did Turf, and we had a good run with that one. It was just a little hard timing, I feel like, and hard financially.
Yeah. Was Turf, how long after, because you said you were chilling for a couple months, was it pretty quickly after that? Or
it was
did you even try to shop yourself around or, you know, see what was out there?
Like Skate Mafia had just got started through Blitz.
Okay.
And then it was like, they were down, I'm pretty sure, you know.
That would have
like,
been a perfect fit.
Yeah, it would have. Like, I just wanted to do something different. I don't know. I didn't want to be like associated with just shorties, you know. And I felt like, all right, York's really dope. And also DGK at the time though too. It's interesting because I went to the trade show with one DVD. It's funny that DVDs are even a thing. You know?
Yeah.
But I like, you know, and for me,
One
it was,
YouTube link.
exactly, you know.
Yeah.
And you got it on your phone. Shit, you know, you just watch it right here, bro. You know what I mean? Roger, you got 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
But I went with one DVD, which is strange because I think it's the first time I ever went with the Sponsor Me DVD. But it was first Stevie Williams, DGK.
Okay.
And then randomly, I was at the Ambiguous booth, this clothing company.
Yeah.
And Stevie came up to me randomly. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Shit, dude, I'm down. Let's do it." And I gave him the DVD, and it just didn't. I always thought that maybe it was like
His DVD player was broken.
I don't know. It wouldn't. When I talked to Stevie, it was like I called him and he was like, "Yo, I'm in the bathroom. I'll call you back." And then he never called me back. And then I think he did hit me back after a while, and I didn't answer. And it was just like one of those things that
Back and forth, yeah.
But I also thought that maybe like people knew what Mike was trying to do, and so maybe that it was like I don't know. It was a bunch of weird shit going on, you know. But I definitely wanted to get on DGK. But then I was cool with Turf too because I was confident in what I was doing. I was like, fuck it, you know, let's just ride. You know?
Yeah. And the Turf thing, it like you said, like it seemed cool. Like you, York, anybody else? Who else was on there?
Yeah, it was like me, York, Jason Whistler, Jason Wakazawa was
that's
dope.
Right.
And then Jabari was sick.
yeah.
Jabari was
Sick.
you know, Jabari was sick. And then like Lance Salvi or something, some other up north skater. But and then later on we got
JJ
like
Rice, wasn't he on there?
Yeah, later on the newer Turf 2.0 was like JJ Rice, Billy Roper, Tony Montgomery.
Oh, that's right.
And then we had a Barracks United Nations. And so we were on track. But
Was Kelch on there too?
Oh yeah, Kelch was on in the first little run, yeah. We had it. It was just like, you know, we couldn't weather the storm of like, you know, the ups and downs of a small company, because I feel like we could have made it, you know, but it was just financial things and stuff. So I don't know. I was just at that time too, I didn't even give a shit, you know. I was like, I just want to do the best skating I could do. I'm over sponsors and stuff.
Yeah, and it was owned by somebody else. It wasn't even like your guys's. It was your guys's thing, but it was somebody else like owned
Someone's
it.
writing the checks.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that's tough too.
Yeah, and Sean Biega, he was hella cool, but yeah, it was just hard to the communication between like the skaters and them, and then the like, you know, someone like York or myself, like we just been through so much and seen so much. I feel like our word kind of says something.
Sure.
But the person who's actually writing the check, it's not always what you're gonna listen to, you know. And that's not any takeaway from Sean, because Sean's hella cool. It just is what it is, you know.
100%. Yeah.
You got to dinner with somebody who's paying the check, like they're not gonna listen to shit. They're like, I got this, bro. Like here.
How long was Turf? Because you said it went through a couple. Turf 2.0. You say, and how long did that last?
For like 3 years, I think.
3 years?
4 years, maybe. From like
4 years?
2006 to 2010, maybe.
Okay.
It's a good little run.
It's a good run.
It was. I mean, well, we had the formula in the beginning of like, it just went, and we didn't have any money, any product, anything, but we still were around, which I feel like is the hard part. You know, it's like if we're all down, and I wasn't tripping on a board sponsor, I was just like, whatever, we're doing Turf.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
But then, with all good things, it just became.
Kind of ended.
Yeah. York. We weren't seeing like eye to eye really, you know, and York was just going through a transition in his life, you know what I'm saying? And so, and to me at the point, I wasn't ready to be like, I didn't care enough about like what graphics or what the fuck, you know? I just wanted to skate.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't know if you guys aren't figuring it out, like whatever, I'm just going to keep doing what I do.
Yeah. Like you wanted to be a team rider.
Exactly.
You didn't want to do all the business and figure out everything and all that stuff.
And the reason being too is that like I've tried to do that, and I just don't want to like I don't want to hit golf balls in the ocean, you know? So like I'm not tripping on it, you know what I mean? Like I'm not a picky person when it comes to like graphics. I'm just stoked to be a part of something.
Yeah.
So if they can't figure it out, then I don't know. But I'm over here trying to film a video for it, you know?
Are you really? Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it's never at the time.
Yeah. Right. And so Turf ends, and then what do you do then?
I just didn't have a board sponsor and was just like...
But were you still on Ambiguous too at this point?
No, Ambiguous they had done Commune, because it was...
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so they did Commune with Braden and Keelan and all them.
Okay.
And then I didn't really transfer over to that, and I was on JSLV for a short period, but it just didn't really pan out. And then I was on Primitive, and pretty much just didn't, like, Jimmy Garecki had hooked me up with the Disney show.
Oh,
I remember you
right,
did.
yes.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, again, like just dealt with so many sponsors and so much shit, and I was just like, you know,
Was it you and Tony doing that show?
Yeah, me, Tony, Billy Roper.
Yeah.
And so we were just getting cake. It was like $750 a day.
Yeah, I remember Jimmy was on the show. He's saying that he worked for the Disney show, and it was like kind of skate related or whatever, and he would just hire his buddies to skate.
Yeah.
Be like a stunt guy or something.
It was the dopest ever, yeah. And so that was my sponsor. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't give a shit. And what's crazy is I was skating harder than ever. But yeah, I just didn't and then Primitive came about, and I was on Primitive for a little bit, like the shop and the clothing, and then DTA. But just at the end, I was just more just skating, just to get the skating done, and not really tripping on the sponsors and stuff, you know?
Sure.
DTA was Rob Dietrich's involved with that, right?
Yeah. It was Dietrich, and then it's crazy. A lot of the things I've been a part of, it's like something happens, you know? And so like DTA, we were doing good.
They had like an office right down the street here.
Yeah. And then they got with Famous Stars and Straps.
Oh.
And then it was just a difficult relationship, I feel like, between that group. And then so it kind of like killed their momentum. I don't know. I don't want to say it in a negative way, but...
Yeah.
No, for sure. But it's business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything...
Shit happens.
Exactly. Sometimes, I mean, I think a lot of things happen like that with different distributions and different companies. Sometimes companies are better with the distribution. Sometimes they're better alone. And
Yeah.
Totally.
that's kind of why. And I got hurt. And so it was just like at the end, I was just like, fuck it. You know, I don't have the sponsors, and I'm just hurt. And so fuck it, you know. But the whole time it was just cool to, like, when I grew up, a skater's career was like, you're done when you're like 21.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then so I feel like I just had a good run, and so I was just like, fuck it. Everything I did after a certain point was bonus.
Right.
So, and I mean, I got boxes on boxes and boxes, and so I'm just thankful for what I got, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, you've been a part of some iconic shit.
Thanks.
And that's like,
You've done some hard tricks.
yeah.
Thanks.
that too.
Did you switch flip back tail the beneficial edge?
Yeah.
That is
that's
insane.
fucking
Thank you, dude. Yeah.
Is that like one of your highlights of your tricks that you think you've done?
For kids that don't know, Jaquan.
Jaquan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's my top highlight, you know. It's weird now because, I mean, I don't even know. When you don't skate for that, when you're not like tripping on it for that long, it's a little bit different because my head isn't in it. But yeah, like it's definitely one of those tricks that I'm just really stoked I did, and I prayed for that, and I'm just stoked it went down, you know.
That thing is
Was that scary?
no joke.
Yeah, it was really scary, dude.
Well, it's offset too, and it's just
Yeah.
this weird, like skinny roll up, and it's just like
And you're not like elevating to a higher thing. It's like flat ground.
kind
of,
It's
yeah.
super weird.
like a-
I never tried to skate it ever.
no.
It's a strange, like, you got to skate I think anyone who's really skated it like more than once, it's like you got to skate that shit like it's just a ledge off something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Oh,
it stops
yeah.
becoming the gap to ledge, and you're just skating like a ledge, and you're just going fast at it.
Yeah.
Right.
But it never stops being as scary as it is, you know? Like, it took me like 7 months and 5 times back. For
Oh,
real.
really?
Yeah, and it was every single time was just as scary. And I remember one time, and I was with CU Trin every time, you know, he battled it with me.
Okay.
But like, you know, when you bring out the dope photographer, you're like, all right, I got to get this shit popping.
Yeah.
And then one time I was just warming up to switch, and I wouldn't switch back tailed every time,
No.
but I would warm up, at least just get into it. And so I,
And then go straight for it.
yeah, and then I switched back tail, slid, and slipped out, and then I fucking pushed my big toe back.
Oh.
And then CU's like, all right, we're good, huh? And I'm like, nah, I'm fucked up, you know?
Oh no.
But then eventually, when I got it, it was only like, you know when you gone back for a trick so many times, but then the one I got, it was within like 6 tries.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Remember, like in the footage, I like roll off the curb and I almost like fall off my word because I'm just like, holy fuck.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah.
The craziest feeling.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's tight.
But that was amazing. Yeah, that was like, I feel like in everyone, you know, I was telling some younger skaters this, like, really map out your career. And so like when I did that one, I was like, all right, your career's like, if you're lucky, like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get like one really gnarly hammer a year, maybe.
Yeah.
And so when you think about the statistics, maybe you'll be remembered for 7 to 10 tricks. You're like, fuck, those better be some dope tricks.
Yeah.
You know? So
True.
when I thought about that, that's what made me stoked on those ones, is because you only get, you know, it's like those are championships on a certain level
Seriously.
to each person, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
Totally.
you think you could get a bunch when you win one, but really it's like, you never know.
And total, and the people that are around the area and that have skated those things, like the beneficial, the Jaquan, you know, it's like not that many people have done like amazing tricks on that.
I mean,
pretty
dude,
gnarly.
every trick on that is like, was it Jesus or Alfonso who did frontside flip nose grind on it?
That was gnarly, yeah.
Like, I can't remember which one it was.
I think it was Alfonso.
I think it was Alfonso.
Did
but
you
like,
switch? You did that? I don't
yeah,
remember
Alfonso
that.
did frontside flip nose grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would just crush that
And then
shit.
you're like,
yeah.
what, dude?
I mean, Scott Johnson 180 switch. I
Yeah.
mean, like
That's the best trick I've ever done there.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That
It's
was
crazy.
incredible,
Hands
But
down.
but not that many people have like touched it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, I tell all the young homies and shit, I'm like, get it, you know? And they're all, but I get it because it's just scary. But then, I mean, when you put in your head that it's like, it's one for the books, you know? So it's worth it. But
Yeah.
it's one of the, I went there like 20 times over like 10 years before I ever even touched it, though. You know?
But
so.
but during when you were doing that trick, you didn't realize at the time, like, dude, this is probably one of my.
I did for
Oh, you
sure.
did?
Yeah. Because I was like, that's why I went so hard for it, because I was just like, fuck it, this will be one of those ones. 'Cause
Yeah.
Okay.
like I said, you don't know how long your career is going to be.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to do something that was like that much to me.
Yeah.
And plus, just get the most out of you, you know? Like, can I switch the back tail, you know?
Sure. So that's one of the high. Any other tricks that you really that stand out that you really just are proud of, or?
Like switchback tail frost 10.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And so, but
Damn.
that was around the same time, you know? So it's like, I did the switchback tail and Wilshire Gap Ledge is like, you're feeling good, you know? So like, yeah. And so, yeah, switchback tail frost, that was like,
Yeah, it's kind of a long one, huh?
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
like
that
the
felt
square.
good,
yeah.
Yeah.
What about switch backside flip nose grind pop out?
yeah, that one for sure. That was definitely.
That was like in the video. I went to the premiere. I was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?" That's what I love those tricks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks.
Makes you freak out.
Those times were dope because, you know, and I think for a lot of skaters, they'd say the same thing. Like, the come up is so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, and when you make it, or in terms of whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you get to where you want to go, it's a lot more difficult because you're like, fuck, you know, you don't even realize what you're doing before. So switchbacks to flip nose grind, it was like, damn, like I remember trying it before and then going home, I was like, maybe I could do it, you know? But that shit felt hella good, yeah, and it was just, all came together.
What did you do that on? I don't remember that.
Lockwood bank to bench.
Lockwood bank, that's right.
Yeah. The spot too is like, to me, I just grew up on all those skaters, you know what I mean? So like to get tricks at those spots was just meant a lot.
And back then too, that was a sketchy school of skate. You know, you had to jump the fence, and there was, you know,
it was sketchy.
Yeah,
dude, that fence is the worst.
It's the worst.
The worst.
20 feet
especially
high.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on now? So you're healing up. Everything's good.
Well, I'll ask them too, because you've done a lot of stuff with Skate Sauce with Amrit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How's that? It seems like you guys do a lot of cool videos and travel a lot almost.
Yeah,
or did travel.
I think, you know, like Roger, I've always seen Roger out with certain skaters and stuff, and I think like certain filmers and certain skaters, you just mesh well.
Mm-hmm.
And so Emmert and me, we just always meshed well. I liked his edits, I liked his music and everything, and he's just an easy person to be around and film with. And so yeah, it's always good times, you know. So pretty much that's how it came about. And then he was doing Street League and stuff. Super stoked for him, and he's just somebody. He's always like honing in on his dream, kind of. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're all in this world, and you have to maintain, but like you got to be a dreamer in your own way.
Yeah.
That's what I see Emmert. He's a smart dude, you know.
He's like a street skateboarder, dude.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He
I
loves
love
it.
Emmert. He was just out, and it's funny because I just had a baby, and he was just in Spain for like 2 weeks. I'm like, you fucker, you know? Like,
You know? He's amazing. He's rad. Rad dude.
But in terms of right now, I'm just healing up,
Focusing on you.
focusing on me. Just had the baby, so
Yeah,
just
congratulations.
thank
bro.
you.
Yeah, little girl.
Changed everything. Your whole mind state on how to be and move and stuff.
Right, I can imagine.
And so yeah, I'm also too. I'm like 3 months sober.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tight.
Yeah. So feeling pretty excited with that.
So when you, sorry to interrupt. So when you got out of the hospital and everything, you were drinking.
Not at first.
Okay.
But then it was my friend had passed away, and then I wasn't even tripping on it. I was just at the memorial, and I was just like, fuck, I'm at the beach, I feel like having a beer, you know.
Okay.
But then it kind of just crept in my life in a negative way again, you know. And then having the baby and stuff, and I'm just like, the whole Shorties team actually right now a lot of us are all sober, you know. So it's like a funny thing. I think we all just partied out too hard.
Right.
You guys went pretty hard.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Anyone that has a baby knows it's like right now, wifey's like, luckily she's chilling, but most of the time we just gotta like pass the baton. You can't really go anywhere or do anything because the baby's needing you and stuff.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
right.
But yeah, just trying to get back to normal life. It's like even my energy and stuff, you know, when I got out, that was the hardest thing because I'd get really tired. And so lately, I was just talking to Brandon Turner the other day, and I'm like laying down. I'm like, fuck, I just want to get up and do shit. And it's just hard to get that same energy.
Yeah.
Then when you go through an event like this, I've just succumbed to life, you know? So I'm just like, all right, like I'm not that same dude. I'm not moving the same, but I'm just happy to be alive. And
Yeah, right.
it gets really frustrating and disheartening when you're trying to be and do the same things.
Oh, so do you still keep in contact with like Brandon Turner and any of the other Shorties guys?
Yeah, like me and Brandon have always been tight throughout all of it. Chad, we don't talk that much, but yeah, we're still in touch. And,
Sick.
But yeah, Brandon and me are probably the closest. Tone, he still kicks it sometime, and then
Dope.
Tone's tight, dude.
Steve
Yeah.
Olsen,
Funny ass
you
dude.
get him going on any roofs with him or anything?
nah.
What is he up to these days?
Olsen was like living in
Eureka.
Tacoma or Eureka.
Tacoma, yeah.
Okay.
Just chilling. He makes music. He's like the crazy monk or something.
Oh, is his music name?
Yeah. But yeah, he just chilling. And like,
What was it like skating with that dude?
man, Olsen was the coolest, man. Like, he was just really mysterious. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, about it too. You know what I mean? You're like, sometimes I would trip out on like the shit he would jump down. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, dude, this feels fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And then he would leave trips a lot and just be like gone. And I was-
During the trip.
yeah,
Like he had a
just,
secret life.
yeah, no, he would just like leave, you know? And I'm like, where's Olsen? He's just gone. He took the train home or something.
Took the train home.
Yeah. He would always have like a lot of food, you know?
Food.
Yeah, it was cool though because he was like the first person I ever met that was like really about that like organic life.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he wouldn't like make it difficult for any of us. So I always appreciated that. Like
Yeah.
he had his shit popping. You know?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
So we'd
so-
be eating bullshit and
Oh, he would just bring his own like
nuts and berries. Yeah. I would fuck up his chips sometimes too and shit, dude. I would eat all of them and shit. My bad. But yeah, he was hella cool.
Yeah.
And then a side note too, you know what I want to say about Jesse is like when I was me and Jesse have had like issues.
Oh wow.
We're like brothers, you know, so we just went through it. Imagine growing up together and then becoming sponsored, and it's just a lot.
Yeah.
But that's like the advice I want to give to people is that when I came out of that coma, Jesse is one of the first people I called, and I was just in tears. Like, dude, I'm so sorry I held a grudge for that long, and I love you, you know? So it's something like personal I wanted to share, but at the same time, just so people understand, like, just fuck a grudge, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's your brother, then call him and tell him you fucking love him. Tell him you fucking hate him, but you can't stop loving him.
Right.
You know what I mean? I probably don't even want to talk to you for another year, but I love you. All right? Now, me and Jesse are tight now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what I take from this whole accident, and I want everyone to know and feel that energy of like, just life's too short, man. You know?
Yeah, seriously.
It's true though. You know, nobody's promised tomorrow.
Hell no.
So.
No, and it's the craziest thing is that it was done. You know, like I was done. That was my day.
Yeah.
And it's like you never think that it could happen, but it happened. You know, and so that's why like. That's just the main thing I want to focus on for people is that like you said, it's cliche, but it's just true. And so we're running about life like, you know, tripping on fucking the dumbest shit, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Tripping on a phone bill or tripping on your rent. Yeah. And it's like, man, you could just be dead, man. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck rent, fuck debt, fuck all that shit. If you're dead, it don't matter, you know?
Well, because all that stuff is just, you can figure all that out. Yeah. You know, it's not worth it.
Nas had the line, said, if I'm still breathing, I'm still winning.
There you go.
That's the truth.
Yeah. People, I mean, it's just human. I mean, we always get hyper focused on what's going on and hyper focusing on kind of the negative things, you know, and everything is just, all that stuff doesn't matter at the end of the day.
We live in such a crazy world right now. Crazy. There's so much weird things to focus on, and it's crazy that we end up focusing on those things.
We want stupid ass things, you know what I mean? But we're being told that we want these things, you know? So like my brother Jesse, for example, like we went a long time without talking, and it's like I'm over here like wanting money or wanting these things. Like I got this good friend, you know? Yeah. And that's priceless, you know what I mean? It's like I'm spending time trying to get material things when it's like life, you know, like a human being, like memories, stories and shit. That's more priceless, you know? Yeah. Also too, I get back in the rut of it, you know? And so whoever's listening to this, and if that's how you're feeling, that's just normal life. Yeah. But I think every day, I mean, like when Nipsey Hussle got killed, that shit hit me, you know, not because I know Nipsey, because that was just me. And so I was like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, that's Laura London, that's my wife, I'm gone with the wind, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so you got to live every day and just whatever it is, you know, whether somebody dies that you don't know, just keep that in perspective that like, dude, that shit's it, you know, when it's done, it's done.
You came out of this with a whole new lease on life, man.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Yeah. It was weird, you know, and in the hospital, I was like so nice to everyone, but I was just so thankful. And all the nurses were tripping because everyone's really upset in there, you know, and especially when you're hurt. But I feel like just in life, I was like that a lot of my life, you know, and I was like upset at things and wanting things and shit. And now I'm just like, that's why I said I still revert to those old ways. But I think I'm just thankful I'm alive, you know, and I have a bunch of negative bad things in my life still, but I really don't give a fuck, dude, because I'm alive, you know, like being alive trumps all the other shit, you know, so if you're alive, that's a middle finger to all the other shit, you know.
That's true. That's tight.
We're all glad you're here with us, bro. You're able to sit here and tell your story, all that stuff.
Thank you guys.
It's amazing, you know. Known you for a long time, bro.
Yeah, sure have,
Fucking great. I was devastated when I heard about your accident, you know. It's like, man. No. And everybody came together too with the GoFundMe page that was set up. You almost, $40,000 you almost it's no joke, you know, dude, that's a lot of love.
It really is. And you guys helped by promoting it on here and talking about me on here. And, everyone who donated, everyone who was even thought of me or anything, like, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. My family thanks you. And
that page is still up right now, right?
Yeah.
You can still donate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Still up. You know, if everyone, I'm in a better place now, but if you guys do want to help, you know, but thank you. That really got me through hard times. And what's the crazy thing too is that I had these dreams where like at the end when I was getting better, it was like everyone was at these parties and they were like waving. It was all the pro skaters, like everyone, you know, at these dope like rapper parties. And I really feel like it was like the energy of people like being there for me though when I was in a coma.
Wow.
You know, so I really feel like prayers and all that shit really does matter.
Huh.
Because it really carried me, you know what I mean? It was really, you know, it's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah, super big blessing. And it was very hard to do the GoFundMe too. Super embarrassing.
Was it?
I was like, damn, I'm all messed up. But you guys made it really embracing and just helped a million times over, you know?
Well, you don't really know until you have to do something like that. You don't really know.
Medical bills will fucking bury you real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you don't really know the amount of love that you can receive from stuff like that. You know, Until, like you said, you were kind of embarrassed to do it, but I mean, a lot of people, you know, love and care about you. So, you know, everybody, skaters are amazing, you know, get together and help out our brothers and sisters, you know?
Yeah, they really are. It's one big family, you know, but that's, you know, thank you so much to everyone too, because I really didn't, that's another thing too, is that, you know, after skating, I was so low, you know, and you just feel like, who the fuck am I in this world? You know, I'm just a normal person. And then with all that love and support, I just realized, like, damn, times when I wasn't feeling that good about myself, like, how could I not feel that good about myself and all these people will love and care for me?
Yeah.
And so, and I feel like so many people, you know, like, that are hurting out there or whatever, you know, like, there's so much love for you. Sometimes you just don't see it at the time, you know?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm glad you're doing good, bro. Yeah, I want to see some switchback tails. I want to see some switch flip back tails. Like,
right?
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm down for
Round
sure.
2, beneficial? We do.
No, I don't know.
Switch hard flip back tail. But
I know, right? These days, switch hard flip back tail, switch flip out. No, that'll get you sponsored.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta flip out.
Yeah,
man. Everybody's doing
exactly.
flip outs, bro.
Nah, I appreciate everything, and thanks you guys so much for having me on. And
Absolutely, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Can we give you some 9 Club stuff to take home?
Of course,
man?
dude. I love
Coffee
it.
mugs.
Let's do it.
What size are you?
I'm a large.
Large.
I'll go grab it because Kelly's a gimp.
Oh. No, let him hobble over
I can
there,
hobble.
Rod. No,
I can
I'm
do
just kidding. Kelly's.
I'll
can
do it
do
because
it.
he'll fuck up inventory.
Okay.
Oh.
Look at this.
Thanks, Raj.
I think it's the first time
I'm stuck in the corner.
Raj has gotten up to go get some product,
it up.
man. You know what I'm saying?
He's going to hook it up fat, though.
Yeah.
Or he's not. Or he's going to be real
Yeah,
stingy.
come
I
out
don't
with
know.
the mug. You know, this guy.
When you're retired, like any product you get is cool. You know what I mean? Now Kelly hooked up some S boxes. Were dope. Appreciate those.
Oh,
flavors.
sick.
If you ever need shoes, bro, I got you already know.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Man,
I
of
Of
appreciate
course,
it.
dog.
What's like a typical day now for you? You wake up, you got the kid, you know. Is it daddy duty most of the days, or
We're with the accident and everything. Like
Yeah.
it just messed up the finances and everything so much that both my wife and me have to work, and so I'm just working some random job. But it's called Clean Initiative. They just help get these programs out to people and help homeowners with their bills and
Oh,
stuff.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's solar as well. So, and it's definitely interesting. It's the first like regular job I pretty much had.
how's
That's
it going?
It's going cool. I mean, it's just day to day normal stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But they're all really nice. The owners, Sean and Pablo, they're cool. And so when you work for somebody that you know the owner and they're like normal people like us, it's cool.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, just the baby.
Yeah.
When you have a baby, it's like the baby.
Right.
Oh
yeah. I bet. How old is the baby now?
She's 6 months.
6.
Wow.
Still brand new.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
She's just like can just hold herself up. You know what I mean? And sit up, and she just started saying like, "Mama, mama, 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 mama." She just says it like,
you're waiting for dad. Yeah.
I'm like, Dad's here. But it's the craziest feeling, you know, because she's just like, I was thinking about this today, like, you just become addicted to your kid.
Yeah.
And I just want to be around her, next to her, and she's like, she's just the little homie, you know?
Yeah.
She's like, "Hello, Dad." And then you hold him, and they just like, the best is when she just holds you,
Oh yeah.
and you're just like, all right, you know, she's where she wants to be.
Right. I mean, they're so dependent on you.
It is,
You
everything.
know, it's like.
It's in a way, it's scary because you're like, they don't eat if you don't feed them, you know?
Yeah, man. For sure.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
My wife's just so incredible, and
Yeah.
so she's been killing it.
How long you been together with your wife?
For 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Married how long?
8 this September.
It's amazing.
How is it?
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
How is it like with the baby with you two? Is it like I always hear from like brand new parents who are like, "Oh, dude, the first couple months are insane."
It's hard, man. Like it's like we're a carefree couple, and now it's just so care couple, and so the stress gets higher and stuff. But
yeah.
like you said, it's only 6 months, so it'll get easier. I think.
Right. And I think both of the parents need their breaks as well.
Exactly.
You know, yeah.
That's the one thing I've noticed is that like we'll just be going at it, but it's like she just hasn't done anything and I haven't done anything.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So if you go to work and come back,
Raj.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, damn! Look, he's hooking it up,
Sponsor.
Giving away the farm. There we go. That's under the table.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's what we should do from now on. Yeah. A little kid style.
But that's amazing, though. Congrats on the
Thank you.
on the kid, and man, it's incredible. What's her name?
Seti.
Seti.
It's a 7 in Italian. Well, it's Sete.
Okay.
But we just say Seti. And
Seti.
then, I'm the 7th son, and she's the 7th grandkid.
Oh,
So
wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. I have a friend. His kid's name is 7.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
We almost named her 7.
Oh, really?
But then her friend came up with Seti, which is
I love
Good
it.
name.
It's
both
great.
names are cool.
Yeah. Here we go.
What do we got behind
Yeah,
door number 1?
Fat box like a shorty box.
First
back in
of
the
all,
day.
I know. Raj is like, hey, here's a 9 Club mug for you. That's me
Nice.
and Raj, right? Appleyard drew that.
That's tight.
Yeah. Look at that. Of course, a Switchfoot Manny mug. You know what I mean?
Nice. Hell yeah.
His and hers. You guys could have your coffee together. Here's some stickers for you. I should put those in the mug. We'll put that on your board when you set up your new freshie. 9 Club large tee there. Oh, New Era hat
Hell yeah.
for you.
That's what's
That's
up.
our new era.
Nice.
Our new era hats. Long sleeve gray.
This is dope. You know why? It's because I can't be in the sun for fucking
The
2
long
years,
sleeves.
a year.
There you go.
So thanks, Flair.
There you go, man.
Get your arms covered.
Now you're talking about no sun, or from the car to the build house
From
and
the-
stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just not like direct sun for a long period of time.
Okay. Oh,
But
and just your extremities, like the arms
Yeah.
and the
Mad
legs.
sensitive.
it'll make it stay the color like that forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so but when you go through, I'm just so like cautious of everything,
Yeah,
so I'm
sure.
just I go in the house and like my wife has the blinds up and I'm like, just fucking close it. She's like, it's not direct sunlight. Like, I don't care,
Right.
So
Well, because
it's
you
just-
want to heal up. Because you showed us earlier off camera, and it's
Yeah, we
like
can
kind of
I could show the camera here. I'll show you guys.
okay. Yeah, if you want to, sure.
Right here, let's go through the gear and then I'll
Yeah,
show
okay. Yeah. Let's finish the gear. Well, of course, the long sleeve
Navy hoodie.
navy hoodie,
Yeah, I like that shit, players.
and of course, bro, embroidered crew neck.
Oh, dude, thank you guys so much.
Got you covered, bro.
Of course, man.
I'm honestly very stoked because when you're not pro anymore, you don't get that much
You're-
stuff. Yeah, so I appreciate it, dude. Players.
Oh, yeah.
Here, yeah, let's show the
Oh
scars.
yeah, you were gonna say
Oh, damn.
because you showed your arms to us earlier, and it was.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Is this hard for you to do? Like show people stuff like this? I mean, you've
Really,
gone through
you
a
know,
traumatic experience, bro.
My wife is so amazing, and my family's so amazing. And they're just like, every time I talked about it or was tripping on it, my brother was like, "You got fucking arms, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got arms.
Yeah.
Right.
You got some scars. So what?
Yeah.
And my wife's like, whatever, but it's cool because they went through it. So to see me now, they're like, dude, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're cool, like
You're
at some
here.
point. I mean, my wife didn't think I was maybe going to make it at some point.
Right.
I mean, there'd be, every single day she went in there, she said that there was something, like I'd have pneumonia or I'd have a blood
jeez.
transfusion. Or like, that, honestly too, that's what getting out of the hospital, it's so like chill. And so like for people, it seems so traumatic, but I'm like, when every time they come in and I had to do hyperbaric chamber too.
Speeds
And
up the
so-
healing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like you're super not good. And then somebody's like, yo, come in here and you got to come in this little box. I'm claustrophobic.
Oh.
But then every problem you got, they got something for it. Like we got Ativan.
Okay.
Fuck it, all right, they give me
Just-
Xanax. And I'm like, but yeah, so it's just really nice to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. So you got to wear. Okay. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, geez.
So it looks like a normal arm, but it just looks discolored a little bit. It's a
Yeah.
little red.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was all red for a minute.
Okay.
You know,
And
because
it's
they did the
clearing
skin
up.
grafts from here. So like these areas were second degree.
Is this
And
tattooed right here?
yeah, just straight scrubbed off.
Wow.
Okay. So
This is-
basically, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go on.
I was going to say, so basically it's the blood vessels are trying to, the blood vessels are almost trying to rewire themselves because those are skin grafts. So they're
Yeah.
trying to find the new way through the skin. that's what we were talking about, really.
Exactly. And I think, I mean, I'm hoping, you know, that this way, because it was really red here too.
Okay.
And so I think that it just got burned so bad here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if it did this color here, it should do that color there.
Right.
But like you're saying, it's like, basically my blood is just like, it just doesn't know where to go. I don't have any sweat glands. And so it's just tripping out.
Okay.
And so it's like, if
Yeah.
you look, and so that gives me hope that it's
That's
not.
a good sign. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not going to be red forever.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
red because it's something's tripping.
Because you're
in there,
pushing
yeah.
on it and it's turning white
Yeah.
and then turning back red. Yeah.
And then I'm going to get steroid injections too, which will take
Okay.
away some of those and stuff.
Wait, I'm sorry. When you say like you don't have any sweat glands, is it like weird when you're like when you're working? Do you work out and it doesn't feel right or something when you sweat?
I just try not to do anything where I'm sweating right now. But with my legs, it gets weird. And just that's what was happening is like my legs, for instance, my arms have these, so it sweats okay.
Okay.
But then my legs, it gets like, it pusses.
really?
So instead of sweating, it like, and I was tripping. I was calling the hospital, like, what the fuck? And they're like, dude, your shit's all fucked up. We're just going to do this for a minute, you know?
So are the sweat glands going to come back, or are they just non-existent now?
I don't even know. I mean, to tell you the truth,
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it should all, eventually, we're talking like 2 years.
Sure.
It should all be chilling and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
I think the skin heals all the way through and is normal again. I think the gland should come back. I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they-
you know what? I mean, we were saying, it doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah, it
it
doesn't
just
look
looks like a
terrible at
bad scattered sunburn.
Yeah, I mean, too, this is like motivation for everyone out there for what
Yeah.
I'm going through, for whatever they're
This
going
seems
through.
like the only area that's like kind of really scarred.
Yeah.
Around your elbow.
And the thing is, too, you're seeing results, too. You're seeing it go from red to
Dude.
patchy and
Exactly.
That
Like,
must
Yeah.
be cool. Yeah.
to touch this, I'm like, ah, yeah.
Oh, so when you touched it before, it was just like painful, right?
Wasn't painful, it just felt different, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, it just
you're getting
doesn't,
feeling back. You're
yeah, it
getting
doesn't feel like
everything.
your skin, you know? So you're just like, there's this glob of skin, you know?
Right.
And then when it's like that, but it all feels
Wow.
pretty fucking good, you know? Sorry for the language. The doctors, though, they're just A1, you know?
Yeah.
So they just killed it.
Wow.
So you can see kind of where it's like
Mhm.
cheese grater.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
they do, it's funny because I looked up like what happens after a while, and they like would just show me
Just
what,
from the skin graft? That was
Yeah.
like a cheese grater really good?
Oh.
and they kept showing me what's gonna happen, like what happened originally. I was like, I would live through it. I don't need
I don't
that.
need
I
to
want
see
to see
all
what
that.
happens
Yeah.
a couple years later.
Yeah.
But so the reason why it looks cheese grater is because they take the skin from your back, then they split that skin in half.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Skin is what, 3 layers?
Here, we'll show
Look
you the
at
other
you.
one too, just so you get an idea.
Sure, sure. Oh yeah, so yeah, look
That
at that.
one is way better.
Oh
you know?
yeah,
yeah, yeah, for
definitely,
sure.
definitely.
But then still like gnarly burns in there.
Right. Wow. And your legs look normal too. They just look sunburned. We saw them
Yeah.
out
They're
before
just
the
super
show.
red.
Yeah.
And but yeah, everything. The good part about it is that it doesn't feel like burn. You know.
Yeah.
It feels like skin. So they just did a great job.
Wow. Well, listen, bro. I mean, like I said, you're seeing the results. So that's
Yeah, for real.
definitely keeps your head up. You know.
A side note of why they're so good at this hospital too is that the dude Grossman, Dr. Grossman, he had a spot at like a little. He had a little spot at the hospital out in the valley,
Okay.
and then a children's hospital had burned, or children's school had burned down.
Oh.
And so after that, he started the Grossman Burn Center.
Oh,
Which
interesting.
they've like, the dude at the hyperbaric chamber, I was like, being all like, you know, having a mood, like, I don't want to do it. And then he ended up telling me like, he did this with Richard Pryor and shit.
Oh.
Just to get me an idea of like how long he's been doing this. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Dude, just get in the thing, you know. I'm telling you to get in the thing, you know.
Right. Right.
So they're incredible, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of hospitals have the hyperbaric chamber. It speeds up healing and it's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never even heard or even thought about that. Shit's crazy though.
Yeah.
You can feel it, like your body will start to tingle.
And it's like you're pretty much pressurized.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
At one point, I got like hot in there, and I was like, "Fucking." What's funny too is it takes you 10 minutes to like get out of there.
Get in there and get out of
Yeah.
there, yeah.
So I was like, I don't feel good, you know. And then the dude's like, basically like,
You can get
"Don't-"
like the bends if you just get out of there real quick.
yeah, exactly, same thing.
Right. How long are you in there for?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Do they have a TV in there?
Yeah, they got a dope
Okay.
TV, and the thing is that they have a dude. It's by law that he has to be on the phone right there, and so like if you wave or anything, he just, oh, you all good?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or they have to
somebody-
check up on you, yeah.
Right,
Yeah, exactly.
right.
But yeah, it's crazy the way they have it all down. Like they have to change your bandages so much too and shit. It's just such a process, dude, when you're in there. And you're like, I remember at one point there was like a new girl and she was like her first little bit of doing it and she was just tripping when we were taking off the bandages and shit. And I was like, in my head, like, just go away. You know? Because the other dude, Joe, he's just like, bam, 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 talking. He's talking about the game. You're like, all right, that's okay.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like normal for him.
Right.
Exactly.
Listen, bro, this has been amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming,
Thank
Sam.
you so much.
Thanks, guys, so much for having me.
If you want to ever come back and kick it again, bro, you're more than welcome.
You should come on our
dude.
experience.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm down for sure.
Dude. I know you're putting on your...
All right, hell yeah.
Dude, thank you so much, dude.
Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.
For sure, hell yeah. Thank you.
Tell the
Kelly.
fam we said hi, you know?
Definitely, yeah.
have
Thank you so much
have
for the
some
gear, too.
Of course,
dude.
bro.
You know, wifey's going to hijack some of it.
Okay. No, that's perfect.
We have wifey gear too.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
all good, yeah.
Dude, can't wait to see you back on the board, bro.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Sure. Yeah, at this point, too, I want to do... it'd be cool to do something and film some stuff just for the sake of going back to the hospital and showing people that are messed up, being like, hey, look, you know, like...
You can get through this, yeah.
Yeah, now it's so more motivating for me to skate because I'm like, I know how it is when they told me that somebody was like a triathlete when I was in there because like, you're fucked up, you know, and you're like, damn, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to walk normal, let alone do anything.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary shit.
Was there ever a point where they say like you might never skate again or anything like that? Or
It's so many crazy things happened when it all went down. Like, all communication stopped from everyone because we didn't want to, none of my family wanted to talk about it or tell anyone.
Huh.
And then so it made everyone really worried because nobody could get a hold of me or any of my family.
Huh.
And then, that's the one part. And then the other part that's whack is because my mom knew, the doctor told my mom that I would have a 100% recovery as soon as he seen me.
Oh, wow.
Because they just deal with the shit all day. And so as soon as he's seen me, he's like, all right, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And so like everyone thought I was like dead or blind or all this shit. And my family knew I was going to be all right the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which made it cool when I got out of the coma because everyone had good energy of like, we're good, you know?
yeah.
Right.
But it's just a testament to those doctors and just like, it's a testament to like the process, you know? They're like, all right, I've seen this burn before. We do this, we do that.
You deal with it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Sure. Did you see a lot of other like burn victims there?
There was all kinds, dude. And then like, at one point I got switched from, like I said, I got vacuumed or airlifted from Bakersfield, from Grossman in the Valley to Bakersfield.
Right.
And then I got driven from Bakersfield back to the Grossman.
Okay.
And so that was like really weird because when you're really in a in a sensitive space, it's like I didn't want to switch my nurses and like you know. So I got to the Grossman Center and it was like super weird, you know, and I was like these new people and it just didn't feel like it was like, just felt weird, you know.
Interesting.
And then there, I hadn't seen any other burn patients at all because I was like coming out of the coma in Bakersfield. Now I'm like more with it, and then there's a lady I'm in the ICU and I could just hear this lady. She's like, oh my God. Help me. And I was like, dude, I'm a strong person, but when you're going through something, I'm like, she's right.
That,
yeah. And I was like, she's right though. Help me. I want to get out of here.
Right.
Yeah. And then that was the first time when I realized like, all right, people are in here and it's just, you know. And then upstairs it was like there was a kid who had his face and there was a lady and another dude there was a dude who was in there and he was like just washing himself and he was like chill. And I couldn't even look over at him. You know what I mean? Because sorry, I'm not explaining it correctly. You go into hydrotherapy.
Okay.
And then so we're both on these gurneys like next to each other, naked, just getting stripped down. And like even the dude, the burn tech, he's like, here, you want some soap and a washcloth to like wash your... And I was like, no. Like, I don't even care. You know, you don't even want to wash yourself.
Oh,
I'm like,
really?
I don't care. I need to get these bandages on and you get me back to the fucking bed.
Wow.
You know? And the dude next to me, he's over here just washing himself. Like, he's all messed up too. So it's all in your mind, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm strong enough to get through it, but I wasn't strong enough to like, I don't want to look at it or...
Yeah.
It was, you realize how many people get burned a lot. And then you realize too, when you're young, like, that's why the doctors were confident with me too. They're like, he's athletic, he's young, he's going to heal very fast. And there was a girl, like I was tripping on going to the hyperbaric chamber and like tripping. That shit's scary, dude, you know?
Yeah.
And you go in with a person. So there's 2 hyperbaric chambers. So
Okay.
each time you go, this person goes in, that person goes in. Which
Separately though, separate
Yeah.
chambers, but yeah.
one dude dealing with both of them,
Right.
which is scary too, because like you watch them they close 2 different things. So they close one of them, boom, and then they close another, whoosh, and so you're like, all right, they're about to do that to me too. But then I was tripping on going in there, and I probably went in there like 10 times. And that because I was young, I was healing fast, and there was an older lady, and she's been in here like 70 times.
Oh
Wow.
man.
Yeah, and so you start to realize that it's like this whole process. I've just learned a lot more compassion, empathy for people, and
Yeah.
you never know what anyone's going through and stuff.
100%. Well, we're stoked for you, bro. Yeah,
Thanks,
we're super
dude.
happy.
Yeah.
And dude, thanks again for coming, dude. This is amazing. And like we
Yeah.
said, come back anytime. You know,
Thank
we
you,
have
dude.
our other
Appreciate
show, the
it.
9 Club Experience. We just kick it and sit around
Appreciate
and
it, Kelly.
bullshit.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
fucking ride some horses, dude.
Oh,
I know,
Bro.
Let's get Muska. Well,
Me, Muska,
yeah.
Get the whole
and-
crew.
The whole crew,
The whole
dude.
crew.
No, well, I literally just got an email from the owner's wife today of Shorty's, and
Yeah.
so I'll email her back tomorrow and be like, "Look, it's hot in the streets. You know, people want Shorty's back, but only if we're doing the horse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?